slept every night, but maybe some other people not so much. So you know, you guys have been watching the matches. We've kind of been here at commentary focused. How's it looking from the outside looking in?
Void is cracked.
Void is cracked.
So good.
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't know what to say.
He's
What did he do?
definitely like it's funny because you know sometimes you have expectations coming in. Like, you think like, oh, you know, Void, you know, we all know how talented he is. Surely not this one too. And then we're watching him, we're like, this one too. He's just he's him. What do you think, Ray?
Actually, inside scoop, I was at Genesis last week. Void was talking to me about his team and protecting. He's been very focused on, you know, keeping the best result he can, and I'm not surprised to see him result that he's had so far.
Yeah. What I love though is that even though Void is, you know, kind of he's looking dominant, I love the play from the other players. They're playing super well. They're finding out. I think Pokemon, especially compared to a game like Smash, which is Void's main game, is the fact that like your preparation is a big deal in the sense of team selection, right? Like your characters do always like not always gonna have the same tools like it does in Smash. But enough about Void. This is kind of the our next match is Jaden versus Ludwig. So we saw Jaden's team last round. Eric, you've seen the team in action now. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I really liked how she played that match. I thought, you know, it was Void put some very scary stuff in her face, and then, you know, she played completely confident. I find out it didn't work. Now she's got another chance. And I think that this is going to be a really cool match.
Absolutely, and it's our first time seeing Ludwig here on the broadcast. We see Ludwig's team, our first Dondozo of the day, with some other interesting Pokemon as well. Jan, kind of walk us through what do you think about this team? What's your eye drawn to?
So I think the Dondos is obvious. The main strategy Toms go for is the most popular. I think the Dondos, he's not up against a Mercy.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how he deal with this. I actually think we can do a lot in this matchup.
I agree. Fire water too. You can get the resistance to wave crash. Yeah, it's like you could spore. I guess there's two spore news, but you can spore four of the Pokemon, right? They're not really good spore counter. But you also have the unaware Skeletor, right? Which is another good user of Terra because with Terra you you ignore Dondozo's boost and kind of solo it a lot of the time.
So I think actually the match is good for Jade because the Dondozo strat has some answers.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
Personally, I was just going to say, I really like the Tatsugiri Soak Choice Scarf with Masquerada next to it, where in the first turn you can just turn someone into a water type and then blow them up.
Yeah.
I think that could be something that they don't expect to happen, but I think it could be really super interesting.
Ooh,
Ludwig
big stretch.
very engaged.
Yeah.
Big stretch.
He's hyper focused right now.
So insane. Look at that. Is that a flip phone?
Oh
No,
my
it's
god.
not.
Okay.
I think when you're playing Dondozo, well, with and against Dondozo, the first question you have to ask yourself in this team preview stage that we're getting to, if you're playing it, what am I doing against it? And if you're using it, okay, can they beat this? What tools do they have? And Ludwig might just say, let's leave it at home.
Yeah, you have to respect it, right? That's the thing about Dondozo is it commands respect. And the thing about Dondozo is the Dondozo player has the advantage in the sense that they get to choose when they pull the trigger, when they get Dondozo in. But it's stuck, you know, they can't switch it out. There's nothing you can do to get rid of it. And so if your opponent has like really bulky Skeletor or Toadschool, like you're just stuck sitting there, and that can leave you pretty vulnerable in my opinion. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how the players approach this matchup, right? Where you have this central threat, this big Dondozo. And for anyone who doesn't know, the way that Dondozo works is, because we're going to be seeing a fair bit of it, we should probably explain what it does. Dondozo is a unique mechanic where if it's on the field with Tatsugiri, Tatsugiri jumps into Dondozo's mouth and gives it a +2 boost in all its stats. At this point, Tatsugiri can't attack, the battle becomes a 1 against Dondozo can't survive. So basically Dondozo becomes like Exodia, becomes incredibly powerful. At the cost of the 1 against 2 and being unable to survive it. So it's so strong, it has the spread move Earthquake, it can boost its stats further with Order Up, it has the powerful attack Wave Crash that it's a very central kind of pillar of this format. But it has counterplay because it's so centralizing. There's an interesting Pokemon on Ludwig's team as well. So it's a Pokemon that we don't see as much of. I'm really interested in the Safety Goggles, Terrafire, Will-O-Wisp, Tauros, and this Life Orb Mimikyu as well.
Oh, right. Reparations
I think the Mimikyu is kind of a sleeper pick.
I agree.
There's actually
Yeah.
not that many super consistent counters to it, I feel like.
Yeah,
No,
and Jaden has 3 Dark types, and it's like a Life Orb Play Rough user, so I like that call out a lot. Do you all think we're going to see Toadschool this game? That's really what I want to know.
I feel like Jaden's gonna would go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a great choice. It matches up so well into everything Ludwig has, except
Yeah.
for the Taurus.
Yeah, and the Meowscarada, it's a little...
And the Meowscarada. But, you know, otherwise.
Oh, we haven't even talked about the Annihilate, y'all. The Annihilate is a big deal here because it's Choice Scarf Final Gambit, and Jaden locking in immediately.
Yep.
Did they both lock in immediately? They know what they're doing.
Straight up. I didn't even catch what
Yeah,
the whirly
I
did.
didn't see what Ludwig did.
Yeah. Hang on. Okay, yeah, we gotta talk about this trainer card. What's going on there?
So, you know, not every player actually has their own Switch. Some are using my Switch. Buster and Marbles.
Okay, so we see no Dondozo lead and no Toad School lead here.
That's
So
right.
Both of them kind of playing into the mind games here a little bit, I think. The Mimikyu is really threatening at this point.
Yeah. I love the Annihilate lead here because U-turn actually breaks the disguise on Mimikyu and will bring Meowscarada into Focus Sash. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how Jaden utilizes this position.
Yeah, I really like this lead. It's very versatile from Jane because if there is a Dondozo, she has a lot of threat for it.
Uh-huh.
If she doesn't, she can still switch around a lot.
This was one of my favorite leads when I had these Pokemon on my team.
Yeah.
Mimikyu is sitting so nice here because even if, you know, she doubles up into it, it's probably gonna survive.
Yeah, thanks to disguise. Ludwig taking his time here, thinking it through.
Oh.
Terastallizing.
Terra turn 1, okay.
Interesting. I wonder what type we're going to see here. It is the Mimikyu.
Ooh.
Ghost.
He's just going for damage.
He's going for damage, I guess. I wonder if we might see like a Shadow Sneak Sucker Punch into Annihilate, but it's not impossible.
Yeah.
U-turn, okay, no. But it survives thanks to the Focus Sash. Okay, Annihilate now is a choice here because it's not like... Something has to switch in here, right? And Toad School doesn't look that strong, but at the same time, you don't want Skeletor to come into a Ghost and Dark type, right?
Yeah, no, that's really tricky. I think it might be Toad School's time.
Yeah. Oh, the
It is Skeletor.
The Mimikyu just hit so much on Jaden's team. It's
Yeah.
actually really rough. It's a really good lead by Ludwig.
Knockoff from Meowscarada.
Ooh.
Disguise busted. I like that the hat is now on upright. It's like a really cute little touch before it's sideways. And I like the decision to take out the Life Orb. Knockoff taking out the Sash here. Ton of damage.
Yeah, that's rough.
What is Mimikyu going for? Is it Shadow Sneak as a play rough? It's Shadow Claw. Terra goes Shadow Claw into Skeletor.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
it survives.
Actually lives.
I'm a little surprised by that, actually.
Yeah.
Skeletor's is a beefy lad.
He eats his
He's
wheeze.
a goalkeeper, but now it's very threatened by both sides here.
Yeah.
And Skeletor's almost like she almost has to protect it, right? And now, what is Meowscarada doing? It's just a lot of tempo for Ludwig's side right now.
Yeah, it was. I really liked the position from Jaden's side with the lead, but I feel like Lud's really kind of turned this around pretty quickly.
It's so tough when you have Meowscarada in front of another Meowscarada and they both know Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
And something like this happens.
Ludwig protecting Meowscarada. Jaden protecting Skeleturge. Where is the target in this turn? Meowscarada going for Sucker Punch into Mimikyu. Picks up the KO!
That's so huge.
What a play from Jaden. That was almost the perfect play she could make.
Yeah. Losing the fairy typing and therefore exposing itself to the dark type weakness, and Jaden taking full advantage of that immediately.
Absolutely.
This is huge.
We kind of see both sides of Terra there, right? Where like on the first attack, you know, you get this bonus damage in Shadow Claw, and you're like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then next turn, you reach a Sucker Punch, and you're like, no, this sucks.
Me sowing, me reaping.
Me sowing, me reaping.
So let's see
Thumbnail. Uh-oh.
Such a good Pokemon.
I was because it does react faces. And now we have our first mind game. So Jaden obviously can go for Sucker Punch than the Meowscarada, but if Ludwig switches that into Tatsugiri, the attack will be wasted and she'll be extremely exposed. Hashtag exposed?
But what I really like about Dondozo is it creates this ambiguity. It's like, is Meowscarada gonna stay in or switch? And that's something occupying her thoughts right now.
The other thing worth noting is that Sucker Punch, if Jaden locks into Sucker Punch here, oh, interesting.
She's gonna flower trick. Okay,
Chooses not to target the Meowscarada.
Oh man, I'm so nervous about how that Skeletor is just sitting there.
I know.
Like, right for a water
Ludwig
attack.
stays in. He doesn't take the bait for the Tatsugiri.
And we see Terra on Skeletor. Okay.
Terra Fairy.
Yep.
I like the Terra here a lot because if it's knockoff, you don't want to flower trick this slot, right? It was a fire type, so if it's knockoff, you'll likely survive. And going for a slack off this turn, Sucker Punch comes out and fails. A great play by Jaden.
Yeah.
I like the Sucker Punch from Ludwig too because you always have the chance to win the Sucker Punch speed tie and cancel out, but an amazing play. Critical hit flower trick does a ton of damage. Slack off. Wow, wow.
things are looking dire from Ludwig's side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was a good play. Like, I like the play, and yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Earthquake doing more damage.
One way to get Meowscarada off the field.
Yeah, one way to get Tatsugiri in.
Something to note about the Meowscarada matchup against the Dondozo as well is because Flower Trick always crits, it will always go through those defense boosts on the Dondozo, even if it has its ability activated.
Absolutely.
So you always have consistent damage in it.
And even though Dondozo's about to boost its speed, well, presumably it can boost its speed by 2 stages, Meowscarada is actually so fast that it will outspeed even with the boost.
Yeah, it's a fantastic counter here.
Clickbait thumbnail. This is fine, Tatsugiri.
I see it.
I think those like there should be an award for best nicknames, and that should win it right now. I think what the way most players escape from Meowscarada's Flower Trick pressure is Terastallization.
Exactly.
He blew it turn 1.
Yeah. And it makes sense, right? You really want that damage on Annihilate. You really want to just take it out immediately. It's a really threatening Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it makes sense wanting to go for it immediately. Feels like I thought, okay, yeah.
It's what makes Tatsugiri so annoying is if it's in Dondozo's mouth and you attack it, your attack misses.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
Yeah.
have to make sure you don't misclick.
Which is, in any other situation where, like, let's say this was a 1 against 2 and there was no partner, the attack would automatically get redirected. Tatsugiri is the one case where that is not the case, so...
I gotta tell my coach E that.
Yeah.
Where's Saikudo?
So the Protect from Ludwig pretty much just delaying the inevitable here. This is so good for Jaden.
Yeah.
The Meowscarada is just so threatening. You don't have any Terra available to protect yourself from it.
Yeah.
Not really sure what he can do here.
Yeah, the Terra Steel would normally be pretty good, but I mean, in this position, it's difficult, right? Like, you don't have a way around, you don't have Terra available, so Flower Trick, as you mentioned, ignoring the defense boost, doing so much damage, and Skeledirge here to pick it up just in case.
Yeah.
This is like, I've been in the Dondozo players seat like so many times.
It feels so bad.
It feels so bad. Like, and I think it really just speaks to like how well crafted Jaden's team is. You know, there are so many Dondozo answers just like woven into the fabric of the team. And
Jaden kind of brought 4 Dondozo answers. Final Gambit Annihilate, Spore, and Rage Powder on the Toadstool. Flower Trick, Meowscarada, it lives. And Unaware Skeledirge, so...
Incredibly hard matchup for Ludwig.
For Lud,
here.
a tough one for sure.
Very interested to see how he takes it into game
Do you
2.
think there's anything Ludwig could have done to turn that game around?
it would have been really tough.
Yeah.
I think that... So turn 1, Lud attacked into the Annihilate, and I feel like maybe it would have been better to go after the Meowscarada there, because Annihilate was probably going to U-turn. It's good into Meowscarada, and it's good into Mimikyu, and so I think that maybe targeting the Meowscarada, just like it's easier, I think, to eliminate Meowscarada as a Dondozo answer than it is to eliminate anything else. Like, to eliminate Annihilate, which probably isn't staying in anyway.
Yeah, I feel like using up the Terra turn 1 with Mimikyu as well. It was strong, and it gave him an initial lead, but using that up and then also having it die immediately just set him back a lot.
Absolutely.
That was the one defense that his Dondozo had,
Yeah.
So when you're playing against Dondozo, every turn that you don't see Dondozo, you have to think, what happens this turn if Dondozo gets to the field?
Exactly.
Ludwig could at any point have just switched out both
Both Pokemon
for
and set it
Dondozo.
up, yeah.
But when you're on the Dondozo player's side, you have to think, when do I rip it?
Because you can't change, right? Like, as soon as you decide to launch that thing, it's stuck on the field. And so, yeah, knowing when to... I feel like this is a focused guy. That's the vibe that I'm getting here.
He's inputting like calcs on the
He's
field.
running. He's like
Running the Sims.
He's asking ChatGPT. Okay, the opponent has Toadstool, Kingambit.
So funny.
I think Jaden looks dialed in. I like the way that she's. I like that she has a game lead to play with, and she looks much more comfortable here.
I think what I'd really like to see from Ludwig is a new way for this to go, and I think that leaving Dondozo on the bench is exactly what that could be.
Oh my god, he named the Gastrodon Slime. I love that.
So I think right now Ludwig has only Tatsugiri locked in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's actually something we see from experienced Dondozo Tatsugiri players sometimes, just knowing when you only need to bring one. My friend Marcus, actually, who is Jaden's coach, recently entered a regional when I was practicing with him. He never brought Dondozo and Tatsugiri together. It was like the most, like, he was like, oh, I didn't even, like, he knew you could combine them, but he played it as if he never, like, intended to combine them, which is, I think, really, really cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The thing about Ludwig's team, and I like that he's actually using Tatsugiri without Dondozo, is because the Choice Scarf Tatsugiri is just very vulnerable, you know what I mean? Like, it's so much harder to use it as a Pokemon that isn't just swallowed by Dondozo. And so I kind of like that he's mixing it up here.
Yeah, absolutely. I like, like there was a plan in game 1, and now it didn't work. Let's totally try something different.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see how Tatsugiri and Mimikyu work together.
Yeah.
I think that will be pretty interesting. Because, this Choice Scarf Tatsugiri working with that Meowscarada, like, I know how that's going to go. I have no intuitions for how this is going to go.
Yeah.
So, I'm excited.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that it makes a lot of sense, though, because we've talked about how strong Mimikyu is offensively, right?
Yep.
And if that Choice Scarf Tatsugiri has Icy Wind, which I believe it does, I'm fairly certain it has Icy Wind,
Yeah.
that actually puts on a lot of pressure. You can Icy Wind and play rough and KO Meowscarada before it even gets an attack off. And so Jaden may be really relying on Annihilate here to cover things. Same way from Jaden, but a switch up from Ludwig.
What we have to be careful with this Tatsugiri is Annihilate actually does move first.
Yeah,
if I'm not
thanks to the Choice
mistaken.
Scarf.
Yep.
The other factor is Jaden doesn't know if she has Dondozo in the back.
Exactly.
Yes.
You would assume.
Great point.
Of course they have Dondozo.
Yeah. But you would be surprised.
You would be surprised. One would be surprised.
Yes.
And I think this turn's crucial because what we don't talk about a lot, or we haven't talked about too much, because Annihilate is so flexible with its. Actually, we saw it a little bit earlier from Jaden, is that if one Pokemon with a Choice Scarf locks into a move, they're stuck doing that. So if Tatsugiri gets stuck into a move that isn't very useful, it can easily end up just feeling a little exposed, feeling a little vulnerable, Like, it doesn't have the same flexibility that Pokemon like Meowscarada or Mimikyu have, like, with the freedom to change their moves. Shadow Sneak. Oh, interesting. Not even going for the Icy Wind, walking into perhaps Draco Meteor?
I guess,
love this.
I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Breaking the disguise.
This is great. Like, I'm done with Meow Meow. I want it out.
I'm done.
Especially after how much work it did last game.
Exactly. It was
Absolutely.
so good last game.
It's a great way to fix your problems, right?
Yeah.
Just KO
KO
them.
them.
Ooh, but
We see the Toad School now.
Toadschool's looking kind of good here. Very
How-
specially bulky.
how would
I like it because the Mimikyu's already attacked for the turn, so you're not really under any pressure. They're not going to surf, right?
For sure.
Icy Wind, though.
Not enough.
Oh, that's good.
No way.
it's gonna make things tough. Though.
It's trading, like, I think Lud probably expected to double up into Mimikyu with no protect. He did the best he could, right? He took the damage he could take.
But
Oh,
Barely staying alive.
and it's not gonna KO itself now because it doesn't
the
have
Life Orb. Yeah,
Yeah,
because the Icy Wind, Sucker Punch is now slower than
Yeah.
Shadow Sneak.
Yep.
I do believe Meowscarada takes one more Icy Wind.
It's gonna be
from-
close, yeah.
Yes.
If I saw that damage correctly.
So here's the thing: is that Meowscarada is actually not in overgrow range because it needs to be at 1/3 of its health, and it's a little bit above that.
We see a Protect on Skeletors from Jaden here. The Icy Wind on the Skeletor is not really mattering, I think. I'm not sure what the speed matchup with Mimikyu is.
It's probably fast Mimikyu.
Yeah.
The Skeletors is pretty slow. Mimikyu is
Yeah.
Life Orb. We saw it, like, took even a lot for the knockoff there. It's,
Yeah.
it probably doesn't matter, but it could matter for the other Pokemon. There's one thing I want to call out, actually, which is that Tatsugiri is now locked into Icy Wind.
Yep.
Annihilate's ability is Defiant, meaning every time it gets a stat lower, it gets an attack boost. And Ludwig has Tauros in the back who has Intimidate, which means that Ludwig could easily get stuck between a rock and a hard place and be
Yep.
forced to give Annihilate Defiant boosts.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Annihilate switch actually looks pretty decent here.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
Sucker Punch to
Sucker
get rid
Punch
of
coming
Mimikyu.
out.
Makes sense.
Probably means no Shadow Sneak, because I think Mimikyu likely would have outsped. But the question is Tatsugiri going to pick up the KO here with Icy Wind?
Could miss.
Could miss.
That would
Be unfortunate.
be real bad.
Oh!
Alrighty,
Okay.
alrighty.
That's close.
So, I want to think about what's happening later. Like, if Annihilate comes in and does get Icy Wind, does get that attack boost, then Ludwig's Meowscarada will outspeed it.
Yeah. That's right. And then it can,
Yeah.
we still have Terra available this game, which is a big difference from last game.
But she has decided to unspool the cool.
Oh,
What do you think about that? Pretty good. Alright.
7 out of 10.
I think, yeah.
Too much water.
Get pity laugh vibes.
Risky of Ludwig to bring in Tauros here, because we know that it's Annihilate as the Pokemon, but he actually finds a way to bring it in without accidentally activating the Defiant ability. Thank you.
Yep.
And it's not the most relevant thing, but Tatsugiri is, Icy Wind is 4 times effective on Toadschool, actually, with Icy Wind.
It is going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, Toadschool is a tanky beast, though. I know it'll survive. I'm a little bit worried about this Terra Fairy, because I'm not sure what Ludwig has to really counter this.
Yeah.
To begin with, but also now that, all the cards are on the table, we know that the last Pokemon is, well, she doesn't know. The last Pokemon is Meowscarada, but it's going to have a real tough time here.
Yeah, although Flare Blitz is now on the table, right?
That
It
is
wasn't a
true.
second ago.
Yeah, and we saw this in the matchup against Void with Jaden. Her team kind of has trouble hitting fire types.
Yeah.
The Skeletor's completely walled by it.
Wait, he close combated the Ghost type, I guess making the read. kind of. Or maybe predicting a switch. That wouldn't make sense either. Never mind.
Yeah, I think
It worked. That's what
Yeah,
mattered. It was
exactly.
not a bad
Well,
play.
Here's an upside of that is that Skeledirge actually ignores those defense drops with its ability unaware.
Very true.
So, you know,
Oh, yeah, you're kind of free to go for it.
that's right. You know,
Yeah.
the risk was not the worst thing in the world.
And now Lud actually in a decent position because now he's opened up Icy Wind and Flare Blitz and picking up the KO on Toad School. There's not really counterplay to that.
Yeah, here's the rough part for Jaden though is those safety goggles are going to block that spore.
That's right.
And
It makes through the turn.
it's so tough when you're like in the heat of the moment to like go back through their sheet,
Double
read
check,
that
right?
item, and then remember that even though you have this dope ability, it doesn't block. Something
Yeah.
totally.
especially if you're on the timer as well, just
Yeah.
taking that extra breath, looking at the cheat one more time, thinking
Yeah.
about items as well, going down that checklist. What's the ability? What's the item? What's
Exactly.
the
For every Pokemon, for
Yeah.
every turn, it's so easy to miss.
Yeah.
Yep.
To be fair, though, I mean, she doesn't have that much of a better move, right? Switching out.
But
Interesting.
this attack is going to be. Oh wait,
She also
Yes,
could have been
super.
predicting the Dondozo switching in. That's actually worth
Yes.
noting, right? Like,
that's
Yeah.
true.
yeah, like because if Dondozo came in here and Skeledirge took too much damage,
Yep.
Terra Blast coming out, and I love Ludwig's adjustment here because now he has two Pokemon that basically invalidate Toad School.
Yep.
It can't do anything against these two.
And you get to send Tatsugiri in again for another, potential
A different
Draco.
attack, yeah.
Yep.
Draco Meteor,
Well, maybe
yeah.
not to Skeledirge.
Surf,
yeah.
or Soak,
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely
Because the spore hit protect, Jade actually did not get the text
information.
block,
Yeah.
but the safety goggles are there, so she might go for this play again. Next
Yeah.
turn. Yeah.
100%.
Here's the issue, though, for Jaden, is that now Meowscarada's at 1 HP, which activates Overgrow, and Ludwig still has that Terra available, so
Yeah.
Skeledirge might be facing a lot more damage than it wants to right now.
Yeah, and there's nothing for this. There's nothing to do with this
Toad
Toad
School.
School except try and cover a switch, right? Like,
Yep. Toad School, because Meowscarada is Grass type, and Taurus has those safety goggles, it can't even Rage Powder attacks away.
yeah, it has, and unfortunately, its only attack is Mirror Coat, and both these attackers are physical.
Yep.
Yeah, the Toad School's just kind of countered here at this point. This looks really good for Ludwig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How, I was gonna say, the Taurus has that defense drop, and that could end up a Terra. Oh, is it Terra Grass?
Yep.
Oh wow, Ludwig really applying pressure now.
And the thing is that for Jaden, this Toad School, as cute as it is, and as strong as it is, right now it's actually harming her more than it's helping her.
That's right.
Do you think this is enough damage to KO Skeledirge?
I do actually.
Yeah.
Terra Grass,
It's
Overgrow.
So strong. How much does it do?
Oh wow.
Yep.
And the question is Toad School going to survive this turn? Because I think you want to have another Pokemon alive. You don't want Toad School to go down yet. Because Annihilate basically has to win a 3 versus 1, right? It can KO all the Pokemon.
Oh my god. She's not even gonna know about the safety goggles now.
Yeah.
Maybe that's better for her mental, actually.
Yeah.
But I guess it is information that she needs for Game 3.
But here's the thing, Annihilate can KO every Pokemon, and if Ludwig, I don't know, like he could protect one Pokemon, or
Yeah.
like, Annihilate was max HP here, so it's pretty bulky, and close combat, it KOs everything, right? So if he gets a turn correct, or if Jaden gets a turn correct, she could feasibly bring this back. I don't think it's over by any means.
Yeah.
What move would you all lock here?
Close combat every day. of the week.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not Rage Fist? Because close combat, you're on a clock.
That's true. I guess it depends.
And you would need Tatsugiri to miss a move. And
Yeah.
so if she locks Rage Fist here, eats a Sucker Punch, 100 base power. Eats a close combat, 150.
Yeah.
Sorry, like a Flare Blitz.
Yeah.
I mean, Primeape or Annihilate is pretty bulky, so there's a chance.
Oh, Defiant! He's activating Defiance!
Oh no!
Wait, yes, but later.
But later.
Yeah.
That's a surprise trick that will help Jaden later.
Rage Fist correct targeting, by the way. I don't think this was an easy choice in terms of targeting, but she calls it correctly. Meowscarada goes down.
Difficult on both sides.
Difficult on both sides.
Insanely challenging.
Yes. And now, what was a 3 against 1 is a 2 against 1. Is it possible Jaden can bring this back?
Oh.
I think Ludwig's best way in. Oh, he realized. Look at that. He knows.
Yeah,
he
he
knows.
knows.
Oh.
But Ludwig has a move on his Taurus that could help, which is Will-O-Wisp, right? Cutting
Ooh.
Rage Fist power
Yeah.
and not giving it a stack, right? This is still only 50 BP Rage Fist.
Yes, I was also thinking about Flare Blitz Burn, but that's a faster way to get there.
Same end goal, yeah.
Yes, I do think you have to take this Tatsugiri out here.
100%.
No chance
It can't
of
protect, yeah.
Yep.
It was a 3 against 1. It was a 2 against 1. It's a 1 against 1.
This is close.
This is
though.
really close.
So it actually ends up that her selecting Rage Fist over close combat
Is what
correct
wins the
here,
game,
because
yeah.
Otherwise, she would be -2 defense now.
Oh, and an
almost
Island
dead.
survives.
burn?
Is it gonna burn? I don't know if Rage Fist kills. It depends on how it's trained.
It's only 100 base power, right?
It's only 100, but it's +1.
It's +1.
But it's no attack EVs on Annihilate.
And I'm gonna guess that Taurus is pretty bulky.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There we go.
Super
Rage
close.
Fist. Does it survive? Oh.
Jane taking it.
What a comeback, though.
That
One
was tough.
Annihilate with only
Crazy.
Choice Scarf. And again, I would have locked close combat there. I 100% would have. I would have said I KO, Meowscarada with close combat. I KO Taurus with close combat, and I pray that Tatsugiri misses a move. Jaden finds a win condition that doesn't even rely on that.
Yeah.
Correctly calls Ludwig to make the moves that he's gonna make, right? To switch out Taurus and attack with Meowscarada. If that had been reversed and it had been a Will-O-Wisp, game could have been totally different.
It was not easy.
It was not an easy win condition to find at all. Yeah, and I think both players played pretty well, but
Well, there's too much to fucking remember, bro. There's too much to remember.
it's hard. It's
I thought I was a genius. I
Yeah, the
play
Taurus.
Gen 5 Randbats.
Yeah.
You go in with your Intimidate, it's GG.
yeah, Annihilate.
Defiant?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
special case, definitely.
Oh my god, I could have probably just won if I just hit her.
Yeah, it was gonna be close, but I mean, listen, like after game 1, you found a really good path through game 2. I love the Tatsugiri Mimikyu lead. I think like taking out the Escarada early when it gave you so much trouble. Like sometimes it's not always about the result of the battle, but it's about how you played. And I think like I think that it's better to have overall played well and maybe gotten a little overwhelmed by all the information you have to keep track of at the end than to I don't know, like just feel like you didn't play like that badly,
You know, I think at the end of the day, I have one opponent I'm trying to beat, and his name's Void.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
you
And
know,
listen,
this is
man,
just-
like
this is just a warm up.
everyone in the group has one loss except for Void, right? And
Right.
so like
Yep.
you just have to be top 2 to make it out.
Let
So
me just take out Void.
just take out like
Void. Yeah.
he's
I
not
can do that, I can
invincible.
do that. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah,
Don't worry about
you
it.
got this.
You're gonna crush it.
You're gonna crush it. That was a great match.
That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that was
Super
a
fun.
really good match. I really thought that game 2 was gonna get. We were gonna see our first game 3 of the day,
Yeah.
but
I was scared. That was that Rage First versus close combat. Like if you're in if you're in like one of the larger tournaments and that thing in front of you is in front of you, you have 45 seconds to think through that.
No
Insane.
way.
I would
yeah.
have clicked close combat.
I would
Yeah,
have
that
been
was
but
yeah.
because you think about it and it's like I'm so scared of eating a Will-O-Wisp, right? I
Yeah.
KO Meowscarada with Rage Fist, I get burnt.
No.
I'm not gonna do enough damage.
I mean,
Plain and simple.
That just goes like I wasn't even thinking about the Will-O-Wisp, and it was there, and like that's something you need to factor into the calculation.
Yeah.
And there's like Ludwig, very correctly said, there's too much to
There's
keep in
too
your
much to
memory.
keep track of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's so much to keep in mind for both players. And
Exactly.
you have to think about if they're keeping everything in mind
Right,
as well.
like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like I know that they for example, let's say Ludwig did have Dondozo's last Pokemon, then he thinks, okay, well I can switch my Taurus into Dondozo, now's a good time, but Jaden's scoring that slot,
Yeah.
and so Ludwig might have to think, does she remember? You know what I mean? Like does she
You
have
did it.
all
The
the
way
information?
the
Like, even if you have the
companion
information, I actually
cube
won a game at
certainly
regionals
brought
where I
you
was
good
able to win because of Terra Grass and
However, it cannot accompany you for the rest of the test and, unfortunately, must be euthanized. Please escort your companion cube to the Aperture Science Emergency Intelligence Incinerator. Rest assured that an independent panel of ethicists has absolved the Enrichment Center, Aperture Science employees, and all test subjects of any moral responsibility for the Companion Cube euthanizing process. While it has been a faithful companion, your companion cube cannot accompany you through the rest of the test. If it could talk, and the Enrichment Center takes this opportunity to remind you that it cannot, it would tell you to go on without it because it would rather die in a fire than become a burden to you. Testing cannot continue until your companion cube has been incinerated. Although the euthanizing process is remarkably painful, 8 out of 10 Aperture Science engineers believe that the companion cube is most likely incapable of feeling much pain. The companion cube cannot continue through the testing. State and local statutory regulations prohibit it from simply remaining here, alone and companionless. You must euthanize it. Destroy your companion cube or the testing cannot continue. While it has been a faithful companion, your companion cube cannot accompany you through the rest of the test. If it could talk, and the
There are Pokemon left in the dust, but 2, they do a couple things to, like, you know, there are new forms of Pokemon, and, like, that's
like
a way to
Tauros.
like Tauros to
And
reintroduce new
Ivysaur,
Pokemon.
yeah.
And 2, I think, like, the new Pokemon have interesting weaknesses. Like, for example, Tatsugiri, like, you know, like, it's not a great Pokemon on its own sometimes.
Yeah.
And, like, that's an Achilles heel that's, like, a cool new mechanic. So I think,
Yeah.
like, it's, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's something to be said about power creep not necessarily being bad if the things that power creep up are interesting and fun to play. Right?
Yeah.
And I think that's something that happened this generation. There's a lot of really powerful Pokemon, but a lot of them are really, really fun and really interesting, especially in double battles.
And there's a lot of older Pokemon that are still viable as well.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we've seen a lot, like Garchomp, Amoonguss,
Dragonite.
Gardevoir, Dragonite resurging. We are going to quickly jump to our standings though, because I'm sure everyone watching wants to know who's at the top of Group A and who maybe is towards the bottom. So at the very top, Void. We've been talking about him all day. The gamer himself, 2-0, but not done with his pool yet. He still has to go up against Ludwig. Jaden, 1 win, 1 loss. Was able to beat Ludwig, lost to Void. Ludwig, we mentioned, just saw him on stream there, lost to Jaden, and Boxbox had 1 loss to Void. So our next match is going to be very interesting, being Ludwig versus Boxbox, both players who are still looking for a win, and I would say, like, you know, the defending champ versus the player who's never played Pokemon before.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight. I think, like, it's gonna be a great match to watch. And it's really going to determine how this group plays out, because, you know, that player in 4th is going to be desperate to get their win, but everyone else is going to be thinking who's going to be that 1st seed, who's going to be that 2nd seed.
Yeah.
And it's all going to come down to the wire. So
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very exciting.
Absolutely.
I think something to know about Boxbox is his team is actually really scary.
Yes.
It didn't get to shine in his first match because the Gardevoir countered him so hard. It's the matchup is just so difficult, but I think in this game we're really going to see the potential of this team and of Boxbox as a player as well, because he did actually make some really good plays.
He played
in that
so
match
well.
and just got team diffed.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be interesting to see the power of this team shine.
Absolutely.
In this format.
So if you're just joining us now and you missed the first round, you missed a good one, but here's Boxbox's team to catch you back up. It is this offensive Tricker Manditi and Armarouge combination that can overwhelm the opponent. We did see Torkoal and Kingambit brought to the games in the first round, also as the option for Rotom and Garchomp. And the thing is that Boxbox he made both games very close without even being able to use his core strategy. He was not able to trick him up because Void had probably the hardest counter he could have in this super bulky imprisoned Gardevoir. And now, you know, Ludwig, I didn't see him prison. He doesn't have Tauntaun Mimikyu. He has Trick Room, so he can reverse it.
Yeah.
So he does have some tools. He has, you know, Bulky Gastrodon, he has Dondozo.
Yes.
It's not hopeless by any means, but it should not be nearly as one-sided as it was in the match in the first match of the day.
And that, you know, it was one-sided and sort of like talking about it, but when we saw it executed, it was
very close.
So I'm, you know, terrified of Boxbox
Yes.
here. I think what's important to note is that, like, it is hard to do the, like, dance around Trick Room while taking massive amounts of damage from this Manditi, from this Armarouge.
Yeah.
And so that's, like, the first step of unwinding the puzzle. And, like, this is nice for Boxbox. He has no reason not to, like, lead both of those and be like, all right, show me what you got.
Yeah, just prove to me you can stop this.
Yes.
Like,
it's the pressure is definitely on Ludwig to find the correct lead here and stay active, because that first turn is so crucial to Boxbox's strategy.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's just that extremely explosive turn 1 and finding the correct way to maneuver around that that pressure is definitely on Ludwig right now.
Absolutely. There's one thing I want to call out here, which is I don't think it's that good, but you know, like a lot of Boxbox's Pokemon are special attackers. Mirror or Gastrodon could copy Psychic Seed in DD. Now I don't think it's good, but you do have the option for it.
That's so funny.
But you know what I mean? Like that's kind of one of the cool applications of the item.
Yeah, I was also going to say Mirror of Gastrodon would copy Dondozo. So
Yes, but I don't think Boxbox has Dondozo. So
Sure.
But later on, that might be
yes,
something we see for sure.
Well, I'm glad you brought up Dondozo because actually, you know, looking at like Ludwig's team, looking at Boxbox's team, how is Boxbox going to deal with the pressure that this Dondozo applies? An Earthquake, you know, Indeedee protects Armarouge with that follow me, and then Earthquake just says, no, I ignore that.
I don't care.
I don't care. I'm gonna hit both of you.
Yeah. No, it's a great question, and I think for Lud, it's really going to be about how does he choose to like utilize Dondozo, right? Because we see Tauros Fire, not very good here. It's got Flare Blitz in close combat. It's really bad in Armarouge. It's not good to Indeedee. It's not good to Torkoal, right?
Yes.
It's not really good to Garchomp or Rotom either. That's probably off the table. You know, he has Gastrodon, but I don't like. I mean, I know I talked about Gastrodon, but I don't. It's Energy Ball Armarouge, which is something that I forgot about. And so, it's like it's probably not. You probably need to bring both Dondozo and Tatsugiri here to have success. Mimikyu's probably coming as well, and Meowscarada is good as well. So like you have tools here, but I think it really comes down to when do you want to kind of go into your Dondozo and how do you want to utilize it.
So honestly, I'm not a big advocate of this in general, but like I think that Ludwig could just lead Dondozo and Tatsugiri.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better because it's going to be tough enough for Boxbox to clear it, right?
Yeah.
One attack, Dondozo protects. One attack, Dondozo protects.
Trick
No more
Room is up,
Trick Room is over. That's all the 5 turns, you know, including the turn for setting it.
And you probably force a Terra, otherwise Earthquake becomes very threatening.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you know you remove that, and now it's like kind of like. Does he have? He doesn't have. No, he's got 3 attacks, right?
3 attacks. Protect, I believe.
Yeah, so it's kind of like even if you lose Dondozo, right? Like when you play Dondozo, you're like, I've got this Juggernaut. I'm gonna take so many KOs, but maybe it just needs to buy him a little bit of time.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you have this Skies Mimikyu and Sash Meowscarada, both Pokemon that require 2 attacks to take out, which is I think very relevant, right? Like you need to kind of invest multiple attacks into both these Pokemon. Meowscarada being a Dark type and immune to Expanding Force also helpful because that's Boxbox's best spread move. So I think this one could really go either way. You have the incredible offense from and speed control from Boxbox, but you also have Dondozo and Meowscarada and Mimikyu from Ludwig. So I also just saw his shirt. That's funny.
Oh yeah, it's a great shirt. Boxbox is dialed in, dude.
Dude, he's focused.
He's in the zone.
Wow. He's not thinking about anything else right now.
Also, to remember, Boxbox also has Clear Smog, Torkoal under Trick Room.
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
I forgot. Great call out.
Great call. But to do that, he has to get it in, which is kind of scary in front of that Dondozo.
I like it. The sportsmanship, the handshake.
Wow.
Boxbox locking in his team even before he
Yeah.
goes for the handshake.
He's
here for business.
Even if this handshake takes a full minute, I'm fine. Ludwig also is known as doing. I like the Pokemon selection here. I like the Pokemon selection from both players.
Yeah.
Ludwig taking off his jacket.
Oh, it's
The
gamer
weights are
time.
coming off.
Business
It's
time.
gaming time.
Wow.
Stretch! Big stretch.
Oh,
Warming up. Boxbox unfazed, focused. I love my trainer card. It took like 3 hours to get because it's mid-blink. It's really hard. It's like frame perfect. Cool.
This is a Daft Punk helmet on Boxbox's character.
Very cool. Yeah, Ludwig's dressed like my dorky character. So here's where the mind games begin, right? Because you have this Trick Room threat from the Mimikyu.
What is this music? Is this in the game?
It must be.
I told Lud, it's gonna be from your perspective, so choose whatever you want. He said, oh, I just scrolled through, I don't know. Also, Lud was, I was like, oh man, Lud looks like he's having a really serious conversation. Maybe we've got to wait for a little bit for him to be ready. He was literally just talking to Karis.
Yeah,
that's what I assume.
That's what I assume.
Anytime anyone's with their phone up there, and I'm like, you're getting a little bit, you know. But it's tough. Like, I don't know what I would say to him in this situation. Like, this is something we're still, you know, we were just talking about. Like, we no idea. Like,
Reverse the Trick Room.
It's kind of interesting hearing this music at like the stakes. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like
I know.
I do not feel very chill like this music.
It's like playing an Animal Crossing stage in
Oh.
Smash. Okay.
Oh boy.
This could be interesting.
Yeah.
Helping hand, knockoff. Armor doesn't survive, barely.
Boxbox
so
does
much
know
damage.
what Disguise
life
does. We were
ups, I
talking
won't
to him
die.
about it.
Yeah.
Expanding force, okay. I mean,
So that's not gonna be Meowscarada here, yeah.
it doesn't. It's not the strongest move selection. However, there is a big advantage, which is that Ludwig predicted in DD to go for Trick Room, and because of that, Ludwig has done Boxbox's job for him. He has set up the Trick Room and broken the disguise in the same turn, and it's going to be very hard to reverse that now.
That's actually so huge.
Tough to watch that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Oh
You know,
no, Lud, not like this. Oh no, no sneakers, no, Ludwig, no.
oh my god, he can't hear us. He has
He has
AirPods in.
AirPods in.
He's just having a little. He's just having
Oh,
a little
okay.
fun.
Okay.
He might be
Maybe-
messing with us.
maybe he did hear us.
He might be. Oh
He's
no,
throwing-
he's
oh,
not
he's
messing
going
with
for
us.
it.
He's yep.
Okay, another helping hand.
Wow, and no redirection is
Yeah,
that.
very
only from
brave.
DD here. Was very much expecting that. Was he protect?
So, Boxbox has like a pretty clear, like, you know, armor cannon, dazzling gleam to take out this Meowscarada, but maybe he's expecting.
Oh!
Yep.
In all honesty, you know, I know people love to rag on Lud. The truth of the matter is, Mimikyu was dying there. So if you want to break Meowscarada, you have like it or Mimic. Yeah, if you want to break Meowscarada, Mimikyu using Shadow Claw, Play Rough, Shadow Sneak, Trick Room, it's all the same.
Yep.
So I especially like not taking a KO there because like you don't want Torkoal to hit the field when this Dondozo is about to.
Yeah.
You want it to have to wait in the back, have to
Wait
be
your
scared.
turn.
Yeah, that's right. Let's learn some manners, Torkoal.
I like this song. I gotta ask Lud what it was because I kind of dig it.
Wait, Dondozo is so slow in Trick Room that
Put it under
moves-
speed?
Yes, it moves under Armor
Even
Rouge.
though Armor is just likely min speed and Dondozo's
Yes.
likely fast.
Yeah.
Yes. So I want to see that Earthquake. I want to see that big, meaty Earthquake come on out, but it's okay. I can wait a little longer.
You don't want to break your Meowscarada's Focus Sash. That is
That's
one of
true.
your resources
Oh,
here.
and he wants to go for the Dazzling Gleam to take out the Focus
yeah.
Sash. That's right.
Another helping hand.
Oh no.
Who's faster? I think Armor is cut under speed, depending on the speeds here.
Depends on how it's
It
trained.
is. It
oh,
does. Oh,
man.
wow. Okay, but Trick Room turns are burning, and Dondozo's still at full HP.
And we still have a focus sash.
We still have a
We
Focus
still have
Sash.
a Focus Sash, and what we're not going to have for much longer is an Armor Rouge.
That's right. Armor is almost certainly going down this turn, barring something very surprising.
That's you know, props to how that Armor Rouge is trained. Like I would have totally
Yeah.
never expected that.
Survivor going down to order up finally.
And here's the knockoff.
Here's
though.
the knockoff.
It's going to do a bunch of damage.
But you don't have an item because you
Yeah.
use your Psychic Seed, so you do survive, which is nice. You prefer to survive than to faint.
I feel like the helping hand here, he definitely did not need.
No,
that.
it was-
That
it
like-
was-
yeah.
He's
But
helping him.
I think that like what we're seeing as a strength from Boxbox is his positional awareness, right? His big picture, and where I think maybe as a weakness is he doesn't know the stats of the Pokemon. We know Meowscarada is super going down, Mimikyu's going down to these attacks, right?
yeah.
But like, how is Boxbox supposed to know? He hasn't been playing long enough.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah, having that sense, that game sense, is like a really key part.
Great play from Ludwig
Great
here,
play.
stalling out the Trick Room.
He remembers
so
some
good.
things from
Yeah.
3 years
He
ago.
does, he
That's
does.
right. He's got some of
And
it
what I
still.
like about this is it's kind of poetic, right? Because the team that Ludwig used last time to win was a hard Trick Room team centered around Torkoal. And here we are, 3 years later, a hard Trick Room team, and Torkoal's on the field.
Yeah, it's looking so like he's got locked down.
Oh, Terra Fire, not going to be able to use a different Terra later in the game.
That's fine. Torkoal's got one job, and that's to smack you with
Yeah.
those eruptions. And with the helping hand, this
Yeah,
honestly,
that would do tons of damage.
Is there one more term of Trick
I
Room
think
after
there
this?
should be,
One
right?
more
Should
turn,
be,
one
yeah.
more. So he will get an eruption off one more because it's double protect here.
if Ludwig doesn't activate Commander, I would be afraid of how much this eruption is going to do.
But I don't
Well-
think it will one-shot. I'm
Well,
going to say it.
Lud was talking about when you guys talked to him beforehand that he
Quadruple
hit
protect.
quadruple protect.
I-
That is
I
so we'll see
did
if he
not know that
goes
was
for the
possible.
double on the Dondozo.
Yeah.
Training.
It's all about the training. The thing is, though, switching to Tatsugiri and an Earthquake looks very strong here, but no, you have to worry about the Clear Smog that Grant called
Yeah,
out
exactly.
earlier,
That's
so
the
it's
problem.
a run, I would not run. I would
Yeah,
not run
actually,
here.
that's a great way to
Lose the game.
I like the just rip it right here. Like
Me too.
you have to call it to clear smog, and Boxbox might not. Like even if he calls it, like your moves are still so strong.
Yeah.
You can even like order up into Indeedee because you want to make sure there's not another Trick Room.
Yeah,
Lud's running out of time.
Bud's running out of time. He's switching to Tatsugiri. He still has 18 seconds, but he
cool.
needs to be decisive here.
Oh,
Okay,
Yep.
Okay, great
nice.
play, great play. I mean, it's not guaranteed to work, but imagine Tatsugiri, yay, Terra Steel. Oh,
Yeah, Terra Steel.
Oh, Terra Steel can block Clear Smog. That's probably what he was thinking.
That is true. That's some big gamer reads.
That's some big gamer reads.
What's
Tatsugiri's
Boxbox go for?
in.
I think he just clicked eruption. Right?
Probably
It's
helping
all
it.
down to Boxbox's read.
Yeah.
Do you think Helping Hand, Critical Hit, Eruption, Terrifier in the Sun would with a critical hit would KO Dondozo?
Yes.
Earth Power. Okay, interesting.
Now that is not.
That's interesting because he had the read actually.
Yes,
right?
he was like-
kind of knew what was happening. He just didn't know what his play was to counter it.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him, it's now going to be a Bozo sweep.
Hashtag Bozo Sweep.
Hashtag Bozo sweep.
Yeah, Blood really showing the power here of Dondozo over its pre-evolution Dundito.
Really
That's
nice.
not a real Pokemon.
It is. Actually.
Oh, my mistake, guys.
Somewhere Aaron Zhang just felt a shiver run down his spine.
I don't know if there's much Box can do to stop the Dondozo sweep here, so instead I'll tell you about how I trolled Aaron with Dundito. I spent like 10 minutes telling him that it was a real Pokemon and that like a lot of people were bringing it to the tournament, and he totally believed me. But then I told him that yeah, like the problem is that like sometimes Dundito will choke on the Tatsugiri and then like it'll faint, and so yeah, at that point Dundito was revealed.
He was so paranoid that after that I was like, "Hey Aaron, do you know about Flittle?" And he was like, "You're not getting me this time. That's not a real Pokemon."
Flittle being the pre-evolution of Espathra, which is unfortunately a real Pokemon.
Hey, I like Espathra.
Yeah, but Flittle?
Yeah. Aaron, do you prepare for any team to bring out Ligma this tournament?
Wait, what's Ligma?
You know, a critical hit Kowtow Cleave, followed by a critical hit Sucker Punch, still would have lost, but it would have been hype.
That's always the part in the Pokemon
That's the copium.
Commentary when you like try to list the absolutely impossible thing
Yeah.
to bring the one player back. Yeah.
Here's how Box
Here's how we still win this. But I think Box played well. He like listen, Blood made an aggressive play turn one, right? He said, "I'm gonna call your Trick Room," and Box didn't fall for it, right? Yeah. And I think like being able to claw this one back as Ludwig, like I think both players again can feel good about this, right? Where like Box made a great call turn one and just like it's hard to play against Dondozo, right? Especially when Ludwig played it, where like protecting the solid Trick Room and like bringing like if he had gone for clear, like it was a 50-50, right? If he clears Smogs as Dondozo just stays in Earthquakes, he's boomed, right?
He's boomed.
But if he, you know, instead Eruptions or Earth Powers as Tatsugiri switches in, he's still boomed, right? And so it was kind of like between a rock and a hard place there, and he made a call and he didn't get it right, but like who among us has gotten every Who among us has gotten every call right? You know what I mean?
Well, also the Terra Steel and Earth Power is still super effective.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. The game states that Ludwig has been putting Box in, I think, you know, though you need a lot of experience against Dondozo to know how to begin to navigate this, let alone get around all these tricks, you know, like will he, won't he, like switching Tatsugiri. And it's like, if you haven't played a bunch of games, you know, maybe it's your third day playing Pokemon, like, it's very challenging.
So Box was asking for advice on this before, and I think one of the things that he settled on is that if he lost to Dondozo really hard game one and wasn't able to he knew that he wanted Clear Smog into Dondozo. Yep. He knew that was his win con. It was just a good move by Lud to take it to bring in the Dondozo with one turn of Trick Room left. So I'm wondering if he's going to bring Rotom, because I know that that's what he was thinking he might do.
Yeah.
If he
covers
really
over
wants
now.
to Dondozo.
Any Rotoms in chat? It's too bad it doesn't have Will-O-Wisp, because that would be a really great way to...
I think he's going to go Rotom over King Gambit.
Oh, I
here.
like it, because King Gambit, especially with the you know, terrain up.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do much here.
It doesn't really do much here, right?
I love this from Lud.
Yeah.
I love, you know, rip it immediately.
No, he's just going to stick to the plan. All right.
I mean, listen, there's value in sticking with what you know, right?
Yeah. It's not a good, like, you know, Pokemon's all about learning, and a bad time to learn is when you are down 0-1 in a pivotal match to the group.
I just looked at Lud's side. Interesting.
What I like about
just going with it immediately.
He's gonna grip it and rip it.
On that note, so we're seeing Tauros, which is really interesting.
So it's also interesting that Lud is choosing to make stuff here after you win.
Right
game
after
one,
he won game one, I felt like the lead were putting in his favor.
Yeah.
Interestingly, choosing to leave Mimikyu, his only tool at reversing Trick Room, and what I thought was a great Pokemon in the matchup. But
what I like about this Tauros pick is he's like, okay, this is actually kind of annoying for Torkoal, because Tauros is super weak to those psychic moves and not much else. Well, Dondozo and Tatsugiri in the front are going to make that real tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Take out the fire types. Take out Indeedee Armarouge.
I
Force a Terra.
I know the thing that Box was, he was already anticipating this. He went, okay, so if they just lead it, how do I get Torkoal in safely?
Yeah.
He knows that he needs to do it. And we were talking about how letting a Pokemon die can be the way to get something else in.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see if he, well, Cotton's onto that.
Doesn't DD have Protect?
No, nothing on Boxbox's team has
Got
Protect.
it. Okay, that's gonna make it harder.
None of his core 4 have Protect.
Got it, because it'd be so much easier to, like, you know, it's good to, like, let one Pokemon faint. It's not good to have two
Yes,
Pokemon
and
faint.
he knows that Follow Me can protect him, but that Dondozo has Earthquake.
Yes.
And it looks like Lud is going for it.
Ooh,
He also
Terra
knows
Steel.
that
Yes.
his Armarouge has Terra Grass.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is true.
I think a Terra Grass off the bat right here from Boxbox, you know, provided he can click the button, is like a good first step.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be, you know.
And let's not underestimate the power of Life Orb, Psychic Terrain, Expanding Force.
Yeah,
It actually does a
yeah.
ton of damage. And something like Terra Grass, Expanding Force plus Trick Room into, let's see here, a Terra from Boxbox?
Oh, this is huge.
That's big. If that's Armarouge, that's an amazing play.
It's what he wanted to do last time.
Yeah.
He manages to
Talk
figure
about
out the Pokemon
adapting.
UI this
Yeah,
time.
he knows.
Good play.
Nice play from Boxbox.
So Ludwig kind of giving him the play that he probably wanted to go for game 1 here
Yeah.
by going with the Dondozo Tuskegee.
And no following, no helping hand, meaning that this could very easily be Trick Room Armarouge or Trick Room and DD and attack with Armarouge. Energy Ball! What a play!
It's gonna so much damage.
That's into a lot. Terra Grass. Oh my
And
god!
this is the Trick Room
This
because
is
the
Trick
DD is
Room.
moving last.
Yep.
What a
Great
play!
from
Oh my
Boxbox.
god, Boxbox
And-
is in such a good position.
That's
here.
my goat.
Here's what makes it even better: is you want to lock. You know, Dondozo is nice because you have this Juggernaut, but it's also very weak in that your opponent can do whatever they want. So he can switch in Torkoal and Energy Ball again.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right.
Yes,
I wonder if he
It's the
knows.
calling it protect.
Yes.
And even if he doesn't, helping hand Expanding Force, even with a Terra, probably kills, right? That's a
Yeah.
strong move.
Like the Protect doesn't actually gain Ludwig any tempo here at
Yeah,
all.
like it solves a Trick Room turn, but like
Yeah.
Tatsugiri is Choice Scarf, meaning it can't protect, meaning
Yeah.
like it's and by Terra Grassing, Meowscarada, the Dark type, is no longer that threatening either.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's really, you know, Ludwig could save himself. Oh my god.
Did he really do it?
He's the
That's insane.
Is it a Torkoal?
Oh my
insane.
god!
Because
But
oh my god.
does Boxbox know that Terra Steel, like, because he can cover for both with Armor Cannon, Clear Smog, right? But like Terra Steel blocks the Clear Smog, Expanding Force or Energy Ball won't kill.
Can he just
Easier
go
eruption
and Expanding Force?
But
Also,
like, yeah, maybe he. Yeah, you're right.
if he clicks eruption with the Torkoal, then the Terra doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
I just,
which is
but
what he's doing.
yeah.
No, I think it was a good consideration.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, you gotta.
Like if he's tumbling on Clear Smog, beat Dondozo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Energy Ball beat Dondozo.
Yeah.
That really, more than anything in this tournament so far, really speaks to me just how freaking smart Boxbox
He's so
is.
smart.
Yeah.
That sort of play requires a lot of knowledge of the manipulation of the game state.
He's been playing for 3 days.
Yes. That
And
is
it's
insane.
not only huge against the Dondozo right now. You're thinking, what's the only way that he can get out of this
Big
alive,
crit.
right?
Yeah.
And it's that Meow is going to be able to be immune to the Expanding Force later, but it's not immune to Eruption.
So Terra Steel Energy, Terra Steel here is that's the play I called out. It's blood and gone for it. He considered it, but I agree, it's not really worth it, right? It's like, of course, you know that like it's not safe, but it might have been the gamble he needed to come back into this game.
Yeah.
I want to contrast this game right here, where it's all like, from what we're hearing from Zane, this has all been thought out, you know, a while ago, to sort of like the fast-paced games that Void was giving us against Jaden and Boxbox earlier, where it's all in the moment. I think that really just speaks to the depth of, you know, how tough this game is.
It really is, yeah.
There's so much to consider.
Yeah. And now it's all
It's looking rough for the homies.
it's looking rough for the homies, unless you're Boxbox's homies, in
In which case, looking very good.
It's it's
Yeah.
looking rather you know, smooth.
I like the consideration here of the move.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I think you know, if you fire Soak into Armories, you might learn that Soak doesn't work on Terran Pokemon. That's important for later.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really relevant in single battles, but for doubles,
You know
very
who
good
knows
for
that?
Who knows that?
Boxbox.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were
Yeah,
you
that-
talking
well-
to him about it?
Well, because well, it sounds like Boxbox has more than one coach here, but no. It's like
I like the Soak and Torkoal because how is he going to beat Torkoal if it's not a water type? You know?
So here's a question: does Torkoal lose stab when he gets soaked?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
it
it does.
does. You just turn
Yes.
into a water type.
It's a great
But Touch
question.
is not going to get a chance to get it off. So.
Yeah, expanding force. We see the power here, and I like Boxbox here. He's covering for his lack of like stat knowledge with understanding it, like using the tools that he has. The game says, hey, Eruption's not very effective on Tatsugiri, and it's super effective, and Expanding Force is super effective on Tauros. So he thinks, okay, well, like if Expanding Force is super effective, it'll probably KO Tauros. Let me use Earth Power, my strongest move against Tatsugiri.
Yeah.
Well, here's the issue: is Ludwig is a master of double protecting.
Double protects.
And Trick Room is on its way out, I think. Oh, it's tough because the game's telling him Flare Blitz is super effective, and actually it's not effective at all
It's
here.
not effective.
Sucker Punch is.
I actually want him to Sucker Punch here so he remembers Psychic Terrain.
Yeah.
It would be a good lesson to learn, even if it's a hard lesson to learn.
Like he's already made that mistake last time.
Yeah, but this time he'll remember for sure. Let's see here, Meowscarada. It comes down to if this is Eruption Expanding Force is a great play here, but it's not the only play that could be made. Meowscarada goes for Protect.
So yeah, I was worried Box might like over dial into like prediction, but
an Earth Power.
Wow,
Lots of damage.
That was a prediction that worked out for it.
Expanding Force. Okay, once again, yeah. It doesn't.
And finally, we get to see like the raw power of Boxbox's team here.
Exactly.
The amount of damage you can dish out is so crazy once you get this team going. Once you get that initial boost of momentum, and you just completely snowball the game.
It really feels like if Boxbox can get it going, he'll win in 5 turns. But otherwise, it becomes a lot dicier.
Yeah. And it's tough, it's tough, especially when you don't have that many Pokemon that know the move Protect to really stall out all those turns. And it's doubly so when he makes those amazing momentum forward switches, like sending in that Torkoal. I just like am so impressed by this game state.
Boxbox is really done. And Ludwig didn't play badly at all. The first thing we said was, I would like to see Dondozo Tatsugiri lead. And Boxbox said, so would I.
And I would have done the same thing in Ludwig's shoes.
100%.
It's so weird because this feels like a game 1.
Yeah.
And game 1 felt like a game 2. Like it feels like.
I agree with that actually.
So Ludwig almost. This is how this matchup is almost supposed to play, and then the first game that we saw is like the way that Ludwig can actually win it. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Ludwig go back to his initial lead after this.
I like the Mimikyu. I don't think the Tauros is doing enough here. I like the Mimikyu in this matchup.
I think it's interesting that in Game 1, Ludwig perfectly realized his strategy to win, and in Game 2, Boxbox realized his strategy to win. So now in Game 3, both of them know how to sort of play their team to completion, whose strategy will win.
Yes.
That's a really, I really like that framing. I do think we will see Ludwig, go back, if it ain't broke.
Don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
Yeah. He fixed it this game.
Yes. And it was broke.
Oh, Boxbox smiling for a second. Okay, he's back to dialed in. But wait, Trick Room is still up? Oh no, I'm done. I'm not sorry. Flowers did so little that I forgot. Yeah, I was like, that's nothing.
It happens all the time.
This brings us to our first game 3.
That's right.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Yeah, this is so high.
Nice.
And he goes for Flamethrower. He knew he was taking the damage.
Exactly.
He just knows everything.
I gotta say, I'm very impressed by Boxbox. I'm impressed by Ludwig too.
I'm like impressed because he knows that it gets weaker, even though he doesn't know the mechanics.
Right, exactly. I'm not memeing when I say I'm impressed by him clicking Flamethrower. He obviously wins with a 1 base power eruption there.
Right.
Yes,
but the fact that he was like, oh, Flamethrower is more optimal here is just like, wow, okay, sure.
Honestly, kind of terrifying.
Kind of terrifying. Good thing this guy plays TFT and not VGC because we might have a problem on our hands.
One thing that's interesting to consider is that in both games, Ludwig brought Dondo Tatsugiri, and in Game 3 he might not bring either.
That's a good point.
That's true. Although I really don't think Gastro. I think you need Dondozo. Like I think the problem here was like he just took too much damage turn 1 and he couldn't stop the Trick Room. But I don't think that it has to be that way. And I think that like basically Ludwig saw that Boxbox didn't cover for his Terra Steel, right? He went for Clear Smog and Energy Ball. Of course there was a perfect play there that Eruption Energy Ball covers everything, but like without knowing your damage count, it's much harder to find that. And without knowing your type immunities, Boxbox might not know that Steel types are immune to Poison type attacks, right? Like he only has 1 Poison type attack on his team, and it's only used for Dondozo, who most of the time don't even run Terra Steel at this point, right? So, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
I like this.
Yeah.
What this does is this makes Terra Grass that much harder. It's making it really tough because it's that added ambiguity.
Yeah.
Do you think he just goes for it turn 1?
I think it depends.
It's so tough given how last game went.
Boxbox is really thinking about his last mon.
Yeah, which I like. The thing is, I think that he identifies that Kingambit hasn't done anything for him, but he doesn't have as much experience with the other Pokemon. We really see that Kingambit is a comfort pick for him.
Yeah.
He said, I'm bringing the same 4 unless one of them is... What's happening?
Changing it up.
No way.
He's...
Okay.
Oh!
What's this?
Oh.
Turned off his targeting computer.
Okay, he's still going into the Armor Rouge, and then is he gonna go?
I like this because,
okay.
so
Alright.
here's what I was
Wow.
saying. If things go off the rails with your fire types, Meowscarada, if you do like a Rotom Wash, you know, Meowscarada and Gastrodon become very scary then. So
Yeah, that's
fair.
fair.
It's a nice, like, it's also like, I kind of like thinking these Pokemon like health packs. Like, you know, you don't really care about their health because they're not that important to their, you know, your main strategy. So like, Torkoal's gonna take a big hit. Go on in, Gambit, do your job.
And Kingambit is very tanky, and you know, if Ludwig's strategy seems to be outlast the Trick Room, right?
Yes.
He's not. I mean, he has the Mimikyu again, but like he has not successfully reversed it. He didn't even try to reverse it game 2, and so having a Kingambit with Sucker Punch at the end of Trick Room and Psychic Terrain can be very valuable, I think. Once again, Indeedee Armor Rouge, but this time, for the 3rd time, a new lead from Ludwig. And I like this a lot. The extremely threatening Mimikyu and Dondozo. Now, this is scary, because Follow Me and Expanding Force is a very good play, but the switch into Tatsugiri and Earthquake could just ruin it immediately.
Yep. And, you know, he also has to think twice about clicking Trick Room because Ludwig went for that reverse on turn
Exactly,
1,
game 1.
and he could do it again.
All of the things that happened in the first 2 games, opening turns, are represented here and have counterplay available from both sides.
That's so cool.
What went well on both sides?
Ludwig really thinking through all his options here. He's
Yeah.
thinking about terrestrializing.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. It covers for Expanding Force, which would do so much damage if he doesn't want to go into Tatsugiri.
Yeah, and I think there's very little chance that Box armor cannons into Dondozo.
No,
I have to
basically
say
no
that
chance.
so that when he does it, I can pop off really hard.
So here, like, this is a little committal for me in front of 2 fire types, one of which could just Terra Grass.
He's doing it! He's doing it!
Oh, no
man.
way.
If he gets this play correct, he could immediately win the game.
This is terrifying.
All of the onus is now on Box. We know he's gone for Terra Steel. Wait, he went for Terra Steel.
Yeah. So that if Trick Room goes up, it's over.
Wait, no, it's not, because Steel types are weak to Fire types. So if this is Trick Room and an attack,
No, he's saying it's over
It's
for
over
Box.
Yeah.
If Trick Room goes up and Box also Terra'd here, it's a rough
but
situation.
it's still not over because Torkoal, like Mimikyu's disguise is still intact.
Oh,
so
that's
so
true.
Eruption will like Indeedee
is
can't
true.
do anything.
Also,
very true.
Armor Rouge could have Terra Grass. and
That's
survived
right.
The
Yeah.
earthquake.
What did Armorers do here? It's the crucial question.
I have to think he Terra Grass. He already identified that just doing it in front of Dondozo was really
It has.
Helping hand! Ludwig makes the perfect play!
That's huge from Ludwig.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame him, right? The question of,
Ludwig.
did Mimikyu reverse the Trick Room? It's so threatening, and the Dondozo.
Any energy ball.
But indeed, this is actually not so bad, because Indeedee is not going to go down to another Earthquake, which means that Trick Room could still go up.
Yeah.
But there's no protect on the Armor Rouge.
Yeah, so, but you can get Torkoal in, basically, saying, alright, like, if you want to take my Indeedee, you have to.
Here's what I would like here. You know, if you do that with Indeedee, you risk a single target attack. And, you know,
Right.
Armor Cannon might not do enough.
That's true.
I like clicking Trick Room with both of Box's Pokemon,
Ah, just
respecting
in
Ludwig
case.
enough to take a KO.
Yeah,
And
and worst case scenario, what you. Yeah.
If you get Indeedee, you can helping hand Terra Fire,
Fire,
Eruption.
yeah.
Torkoal in unscathed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's
if you get,
important.
and if Indeedee goes down,
Oh, Box switched.
oh, here it comes.
Oh, no.
Torkoal. Wait, but Torkoal will hang on.
Yeah, it will live,
And be able to flamethrower.
Okay, this is not that bad, actually.
Also, Armor Rouge should come back in an Armor Cannon.
That's true.
That's true,
That's
but
true.
this is a lot of damage. It might have been better to sacrifice here. And Indeedee barely survives. Torkoal also barely survives. Whoa.
Okay.
Does Box know about Clear Smog? I don't know if he does.
Zane,
He
Zane?
did not talk about Clear Smog into Steel types.
it's gonna say no
No
effect.
effect?
It's
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah,
no
yeah,
effect.
it
is gonna say no
It's gonna
effect,
say no
that's true.
effect. And all those meaty fire type buttons will be saying super effective.
Yes.
We did just lose access
But he
to the...
also knows that Flamethrower is stronger when he has low health.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like...
we already know that he knows that,
There's a lot of mechanics at play you need to know here. Just to make one turn correctly, you need to know Eruption scales with your HP. You need to know Clear Smog is not effective on Steel-type Pokemon.
But all of this just to take down one of
Ludwig's
Ludwig's
Pokemon.
He's got 3 others that are ready to, you know.
Yeah, he has
Take
a lot of time to
Box
sell
down.
out this Trick Room, and I don't think Box was getting up another one.
No.
Although, conserving that Armor Rouge in the bag.
Helping Hand.
Okay.
We'll figure something out here.
Protect from Dondozo. Now this will be a good insight. Is it flamethrower? Is it eruption? Or is it clear smog? Or is it earth power? Flamethrower.
Okay,
the
okay,
perfect
okay,
move.
correct,
Got it.
correct play.
Correct play. Okay.
Do you think he needs to Terra here to pick up the KO?
I was about to ask
I
that.
think he might need to.
I think just given how important this is for the match,
It's
I would
full
risk
HP.
nothing.
I think so, because think about how much Terra Grass Energy Ball did, right? That's probably somewhat comparable to Flamethrower and Sun.
Yeah.
Charcoal.
Charcoal,
Maybe.
yeah, it's gonna be very close.
I'm
The way the multipliers work, does Sun like 1.5 times 1.5, so it's
Yeah.
2.25?
Yeah,
so it's
2.25,
even stronger.
Okay,
Okay.
He's gonna go
yeah,
for it.
I like
I
it.
support this.
I think so too.
with helping hand.
With Helping Hand and Charcoal.
I think it'll do it.
It's gonna be close. Charcoal, Flamethrower, Helping Hand, Sun, Terra Fire, Stab. All of these to take down the world's tankiest fish. Helping Hand comes out. Torkoal will move next. Is it Flamethrower? It's Flamethrower. Targets correctly. How much is this gonna do? Helping Hand, Terra Fire, Flamethrower, pulls the KO!
Nice play.
Box stays alive.
This is so intense, but Ludwig has a lot more
He
to
has
go
a
off.
lot
It's
of
not
resources
over.
left.
There's 3 more turns of Trick Room left.
And here's the thing.
Right.
That there's 3 more turns of Trick Room, but the Psychic Terrain will expire before the Trick Room does.
Yes.
So Mimikyu,
2 more turns. Protect. 2 more turns of Trick Room left.
Yup.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Tatsugiri is kind of just chilling right here, except for the fact that it quad resists these fire moves, so it won't be easy to take down at all.
Gang, if he breaks, if he uses like Dazzling Gleam, and breaks the disguise, King Gambit, the Pokemon that we were like, oh, I wish, it resists almost all of the remaining Pokemon's attacks.
Oh.
King Gambit was like a, like an outfielder, but now it's moving on in.
Pinch hitter.
Armor is still alive too.
Yeah,
seems like
but
the
it's in
perfect
Shadow
for
Sneak
it.
range is the thing, and this is the last turn of Psychic Terrain.
I know why Surf is on this team. It's the boost to
Gastrodon,
Gastrodon, but
yeah.
in this moment,
It's with both Focus Sash, yeah.
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough. Especially, unfortunately, given how hard Tatsugiri is for this Torkoal to take down.
Yeah. Earth Power comes out.
Or maybe not hard at all.
I like that play a lot. You're not gonna do any like damage there with Is this gonna kill? Oh my god, it does nothing.
Disguise is broken though.
Disguise is
That is
broken.
true.
Shadow Claw comes out here.
Gonna be a lot
Picks
of
up the
paper
KO.
cuts. Yep.
Death by 1,000 cuts. Torkoal goes down. A little bit of Life Orb chip.
But here comes Armorers back in.
But the Psychic Terrain is still up.
Or the King Gambit.
The King
Or the King
Gambit.
Ga- I mean, yeah.
It's gonna be both, probably.
Indeed, he's dead here.
He's probably not surviving.
Yeah, it's fair.
Hard fought, but not enough. Wait.
Yeah.
Psychic Terrain is down. That means that Sucker Punch is back on the table as well.
And it
on both
also means
sides.
expanding force is
But
not
there's one
going
more
to-
turn.
Shadow Sneak is on the field
Yeah,
too.
but you can Sucker Punch to cancel the Shadow Sneak, giving your armors the ability to Energy Ball.
Wait, no, because King Gambit is slower.
But Trick Room is 1 turn left.
Yeah. There is one
So
more
you
turn
have
of
1
Trick
turn
Room.
where you can Sucker Punch, kill the Mimikyu.
But
Yeah.
but can Mimikyu and Meowscarada work together to take down King Gambit? I don't think so.
Okay, so if Ludwig is goaded here, does he Trick Room with Mimikyu?
Wait. Oh my god. Box could kill Mimikyu, intentionally leaving Tatsugiri alive?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
use Surf to break Meowscarada's Sash.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be.
And then Sucker Punch to kill Tatsugiri. It's. Oh, this is gonna come down to the wire.
Yes.
Shadow Sneak comes out, no Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
Yup.
It's all King
Who
Gambit
did
here.
King Gambit target? Little Life Orb recoil. Iron Head and the Mimikyu.
All right, that's step 1.
That's step 1.
It's gonna be so close.
It's gonna be really close. I mean, this is now single target Sun. The Sun. It's reducing the damage from Surf.
It's not gonna be
Not gonna do
immediate at
much,
all.
yeah.
Oh my god, that's the.
Nothing.
That's AV King Gambit.
That is
right?
AV. That's
Yeah.
Citru. Oh, yeah, it is AV.
Right.
Oh right.
And Meowscarada doesn't hit this. This is the perfect position
Yeah.
for King Gambit to be in.
But you
He
do
thought
have.
about it too. He thought about bringing it before the fight.
That's right. He like really considered it. But the
Yeah.
thing is, Knockoff will take away the Assault Vest.
Ooh. But Tatsugiri will take away the sash, and then it's just one quick
against
pump,
one.
Sucker Punch to end the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless Iron Head is not the strongest move. Sun ending here actually could be big because it might be the difference in Meowscarada surviving the Iron Head.
Oh, he's getting tripped up because it says super effective. You know, it says super effective here. It's actually not super effective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no.
What?
Is there a world where you maybe protect Meowscarada here?
I think
To-
every time you protect
yeah,
Meowscarada
right?
right here.
Yeah.
So you need to prevent the Sucker Punch from taking your Focus Sash here. You need
Yeah,
to
that's
knock
your
off
chip.
die first.
The thing is that from King Gambit's point of view, Tatsugiri is a tasty little snack that I
Surf?
can consume at any
Yeah.
time.
It's a lot of damage to Meowscarada. Knockoff. If Iron Head picks up the kill here, if he goes for Iron Head,
What does he target?
Brick Break, super effective.
That's gonna do it.
But the AV is gone.
The AV is gone,
I
but
don't think it matters though.
No.
Right?
Sucker Punch, but does he like he hasn't really used Sucker Punch at all, and now it's single target Surf.
A crit could end this.
A crit could end this. It's possible.
Sun is down as well, right?
Sun is down. Sucker Punch.
but he
He knows.
knows.
Oh my God.
That was
An incredible match
That
by
was so
both
good.
players.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Really
Yeah.
impressive stuff from both players there.
Holy crap.
Yeah, well said.
I couldn't have put it better.
That was I'm really impressed by it, by the quality of play there. Like, and that's what I love about Pokemon. That's what I love about seeing these players adapt, right? We had so many things going on. We had the Terra Steel to block the Clear Smog. We had Helping Hand Terra Fire on your 25% Torkoal to pick up the KO with Flamethrower. We saw the end of Psychic Terrain allow for Shadow Sneak to pick up the KO on the Armarouge. We saw Surf Tatsugiri actually being kind of the detriment of Ludwig there, taking out the Focus Sash from the Meowscarada. So, very well done. Very, very well done.
That was sick.
Super well played.
On both sides, yeah.
How you feeling?
That was really scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was told by my coach like to immediately try to clear Smog.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
The
Dozo.
large blue guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I didn't know what to do like once he terrestrialized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, I hope this kills.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, I lose.
That was the perfect play because
was great.
Steel type Pokemon, the Tyranids, the Steel type, it's immune to Clear Smog, which also means it wouldn't have the effect of like Clear Smog removes all stat boosts, which is why the fish is threatening. But when it goes Terra Steel, it's immune to that attack. So I wasn't. You haven't been playing that long. I wasn't to niche interaction.
Yeah.
I doubt it came up in testing.
There was so many moments where we were asking, does he know about this?
And you knew
interaction? Does
all
he
of
know
them,
about this?
or you
All
made
of
the
them,
right
yeah.
play at least.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't know any of that.
That's pure gamer intuition.
That's-
That is pure instinct.
Yeah. I want to know about the turn when you had Armarouge out versus the Dondozo, and you switched in your Torkoal in
That was
game 2.
so
What was
good.
going through your head then?
This game too.
I originally
That was game
swapped in
3.
the Torkoal to. Was that what just to clear Smog?
Yeah.
Yeah, just to clear Smog then.
But you ended up flamethrowing and KOing the Dondozo.
No, that's game 3.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
game
talking.
three.
So in game 2, basically, you get Trick 'em Up. You have this great play. They go for Earthquake. You go for Terra Grass Energy Ball. You do a ton of damage. And I think a lot of players would have been tempted to stay in with Indeedee. You attack with Armarouge again, and you get your Torkoal in at the same time as Ludwig protects. And you get
Oh, yeah.
so much momentum. Can you tell us about what you were thinking there?
From game 1, he showed that he was very willing to protect the moment
Yeah.
I show a threat.
Yeah.
So game 2, I knew most likely I can get a free swap here
Yeah.
and just up for a better turn.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did, and that's exactly what happened. So the last thing I want to ask you before we have a break is, you lost the first game there, and that must have been scary, right? Like, you have your strategy, and all of a sudden, like, you're down a game, like, and that you like held strong, you had composure, and you like were able to bring back the whole set and actually win. So what was kind of going through your head after losing game 1?
Oh, after losing game 1, I was pretty terrified. My coach gave me a lot of backup strats. Here's a mix-up that you might be able to do to throw them off.
Yeah.
And then I was ready to do the mix-up strat where I was going to throw in Rotom and Garchomp.
We saw you thinking
yeah.
about them.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking like, okay, what was the strat? And then I forgot it. And I figured Ludwig has played more Pokemon than me. So I'm more likely to, if we both go off the rails of our strat, he's more likely to like figure something out first.
Yeah, that's
so I just stuck
true.
with the same strat and just tried to win the mind games.
Yeah, and you did. Well, congratulations. It was it was an amazing set, and a very great first game 3 of the day.
Fantastic series.
Thanks very much. All right, gang, we're gonna have a quick break, just a cheeky little break before we go into our next match. We're gonna let BoxBox have a break before the next match, which is BoxBox versus Jaden. A very important match since they're both 1 win, 1 loss. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly after this break.
it's like there's so little that I can do, and I'm like, I can't. I can show you the whole level in 1 minute, not even, or at least the part I'm stuck on. It's like I just see no way. How can it be possible? You know? Yeah. How can it possible? Even French toast. Oh, it smells. Yeah, you have eggs too. Oh, that's fun. You could have just made French toast. You just made you like French toast. Sammy doesn't like French toast. I see. It's impossible. Never seen it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Wolfie Licks Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Invitational. My name's Aaron Cybertron Zhang, and I'm joined by Rosemary Kelly, as well as our two special guests, Alpha Red and Void. Void, you've been killing it today, man. First of all, how does it feel?
I feel very nervous.
Unexpected on my side, honestly.
Void is in here.
I was so invested in Lud Boxbox because I'm like, if Lud beats Boxbox and then Lud beats me, I'm second seed, and there might be some strange three-way tie. Let's say Boxbox won't win.
No, sorry. So
there's a lot more to
won
worry about
one
there.
some years ago.
Even though I am up 2-0.
The second one.
I don't know. I'm worried. Everybody's so good.
If I can give some insight to that last game, afterwards, I think it's so shocking how good everyone's playing, just like the coaches in their ear and all the information they've learned over time. But it's so funny how like that.
Yeah, we were rooting for Hugs because Hugs was grinding so hard.
Like, after that last set, when like he read that Ludwig was going to be like Steel Terra and everything, and then he'd like Drought, Charcoal, Helping Hand, Torkoal, Flamethrower, and everything. And backstage, he said, I knew he was gonna. Like I saw him ice.
That's how I accidentally
and I was like.
Like,
is that the right answer with the wrong, with the wrong word?
Yeah. Well, you know, that allows us to win, and this next match is a big one, Boxbox and Jaden. So I believe Void has already secured first place in the group.
Yes.
And
Because you have the head-to-head on both of these.
Exactly. And
Ludwig's guaranteed last.
Yep. And so it's going to be between Boxbox and Jaden to see who makes it in the group. So any predictions? I mean, you were in the group, so
I think Boxbox team is just.
It's good. I think it's a bit predictable because he has done the exact same opening every single time. If that stays true, then like I feel like he'll exploit that leader bracket. Like seeing it in action. But just like, what a good event so far. Like all in all,
I've been so impressed. Like it's been. I mean, how are you feeling? Are you antsy? You're like, I want to start battling. Like I've been waiting. Yeah.
I don't know. I've just been thinking about how great of an event this is, and if you want to help support events like this in the future, check out War Thunder. I think we move to like a visual. Do we have a visual? No, we're just doing a straight read. All right. Check out War Thunder, the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made. Aaron, how many Pokemon are there?
There are a lot. There's over 1,000 now.
1,008. Yeah. Give it all a check. All right, and here's the thing. Would you call that a lot?
That's a decent amount, yeah.
Not in War Thunder.
What? Figured it out.
Dude, that's like more than double.
Give me planes, tanks, ships, and helicopters in dynamic combined PvP battles that span more than 100 years of development. From the 5 years from the old to the modern F-16. This guy knows what I'm saying. This guy knows what I'm saying. Yeah, so just click on the link in the description or in chat. In the description or in chat. I guess it's also a chatbot command. I play War Thunder today on PC, Xbox Series, Xbox One, PS4, PS5, pretty much anything. A lot more versatile than Pokemon. Can I say that? But it's true.
You think that's the case? I feel like we've seen some versatile teams today.
Oh, that is. It's only on Switch as well. Maybe I coach you on something else afterwards. But on top of that, you'll get a massive free bonus pack with multiple premium vehicles, premium account, boosters, and more for the best. Start by signing up. For the best, start by signing up through the link and downloading it today. No one who wrote the script has heard of a damn column. All right, but thank you again to War Thunder for sponsoring this event of the Wolfie Glick Scarlet Violet Invitational.
It's been a blast. Rosemary, how have you been feeling?
I've been feeling so good. I mean, just getting a chance to watch all the matches off screen so far. I mean, like, there's been some hype plays, and like being able to talk about them too. Like, so excited we get a chance to have both of you on the couch as well, because your knowledge is going to be so fun to listen to as well when we get to the next matches.
So one interesting thing about Boxbox's team, wow, I can't believe is, you know, he has had, I think he's had the exact same 4 in every game. I don't think I've seen him pick guard trump. I don't think I've seen him pick
Want to know a little secret?
Yeah, that's all he's used.
So Aaron was my coach, and we were kind of like trying to craft some logic in the corner alone, and then Boxbox comes over and like coach jacked me, as I call it.
Oh,
yeah. And he was asking questions. He was like, "So what should I do?" And also, like, I was scared of Boxbox. I'm just like, you know, I need to prepare for his team. And then he just says, "Okay, so these are my 6 Pokemon. I have never used Garchomp or Will."
I think I heard that right before my first match, and I was like, message Billa. I'm like, okay, he's never used Garchomp or Rotom.
That's such good info to have, though. Because, like, there's pretty much only one opening with that. I mean, I guess you could do like Armor Rouge Torkoal if you really wanted to, but I think protecting for the Terra Eruption is just so valuable.
But the thing, I feel like, even though we've seen the exact same opening, I've seen him do different moves in almost every game.
It's the same opening, but never the same turn 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I've seen, like, Follow Me Trick Room yet.
Which is like the normal play you expect from that lead, but I think that's what makes Pokemon fun. You have the same 2 players with the same teams, the same needs, and like the games can play out completely differently.
I think Jaden has the most gameplay team.
Oh, totally.
Just, I mean, like, all intents and purposes, this is a content creator team. Like, Wolf Glick made this just for fun, you know, and gave it to Jaden, and I think, like, everyone's eyes flocked to, like, the Toad School.
But my question for you is, do you think Toad School has the potential in this set? Because I feel like we've seen Toad School come out, and then it goes out. It just doesn't do very much. So
against Boxbox, I see it. I think what else is also interesting is, like, you could spore the Armor Rouge, but if he reads that Jaden would spore, he can also Terra Grass to get around it as well. So that's like a... I say like that's like deep. That's like level 3 or 4 for Boxbox to pull out. But I've seen a lot of like those higher level plays today that I just would not have expected.
How fast is...
He's pretty fast, but his ability makes every status move go last.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Every
try to balance it out.
To ensure the safe performance of all authorized activities, do not destroy vital testing apparatus.
The other side of that ability is that, you know, like Golden Go can't be like have any status on him at all.
It ignores other Pokemon's abilities if you're targeting into them. So instead of good as gold, it basically like doesn't exist anymore. So definitely could go for Spore there. And the other thing about the Toad School as well that we haven't got a chance to see yet is that it's Terra Water. So that could be very impactful in this match if we see Jaden kind of lock into trying to use the Toad School. He can just Terra it and then stop shooting.
Okay, I saw Boxbox go with Armors and Immunity. Here's Annihilate and Hydreigon. It's a really solid lead because you can use the final Gambit from Annihilate to just knock out either Pokemon immediately. Annihilate has more HP, so with final Gambit you essentially trade Annihilate for something right now. And then Immunity, you know, Void, you were talking about Follow Me and Trick Room. That's normally a play like you go for here. The thing is, Armors is weak to that Dark Pulse from Hydreigon, right? So you could Terra Grass Armors to get around it. Life Orb Draco Meteor from Hydreigon still does a ton of damage though. So if you actually just go for Final Gambit and Draco Meteor, depending on how the Armors is trained, that might just be a double knockout, no Trick Room for you.
Yeah, I think like also if you see the Final Gambit coming, there's no issue. You could just double trigger him if you really want to. If you're that confident something's going down this turn.
Alright, here it is. The Follow Me to start, and I would expect Final Gambit here, but it could be a U-turn. There it is.
Alright. Yeah, so that is going to be just a knockout here for both the Annihilate and the Indeedee. And so it comes down to what this Hydreigon decides to do on this turn as well.
No Terra Grass either, so if it's a Dark Pulse, it'll definitely KO. If it's a Drake, it's just a Dark Pulse! There it is!
I think it's the first time I've seen this Boxbox opening. Not the first time I've seen this opening, but the first time I've seen it go down turn 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Indeedee's been able to stick around for so long, but also kind of all leaning on the Trick
not that scary without the Trick Room active.
Exactly. You could actually just Draco Meteor Torkoal Sporting Gambit. There's no counterplay to that. Like, I think from Boxbox's end, he's essentially just hoping for a miss at this point. So the main thing I think for Boxbox is you could consider going for a Terra with the Armorers, turning a Grass type, then Dark Pulse isn't super effective. That's not the case there. And with Boxbox's team, Trick Room does not go up. Things kind of just fall apart.
Yeah. Using your Terra before you're in trouble, or like, oh, I could get hit here, let's do it anyway, instead of, oh, they're actively targeting me, maybe I should Terra now. It's a lot more of making sure you get those defensive Terras off before the danger.
And then it can also be like false pressure, like they try to bait out your Terra, and then they just target the complete opposite way.
Absolutely.
Or sometimes like you flanker in a Hydra because you know it's gonna like steal Terra or something like that.
Getting that read can be so cool to watch as well.
Like,
Sometimes it does come back to
Mystical
bite.
Fire, or Mystical Fire, or Sylveon, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, here's the Terra for at least the Torkoal. Oh, the Tailwind!
No, Water Terra.
This could get kind of scary, actually. Let's see.
Oh, wow. Big survival there for the Hydreigon Leader, but it looks like it's double targets.
I think that's fine.
It's just...
Yeah, he's gone.
No! We need a counter, like, for the number of times Toad Skulls hits the field and just faints it immediately.
Do you think that Water Terra would have saved him even in the Sun Terra?
I think so.
Yeah. Eviolite too, yeah. Ooh, Skeletor to the Sun. With Tailwind.
Okay, that's actually very scary.
Yeah, I think what makes this so tough for Boxbox is like you can't protect either Pokemon, and like you just committed your Terra as well, right? So, like Tailwind, just to really ensure you're outspeeding Torkoal and King Gambit. I mean, normally you're already pretty fast anyway, but now you have that insurance. Skeletor here. It's interesting because if it goes for Fairy Terra, then you can actually get hit by an Iron Head, which is kind of scary.
That's what I was about to bring up. Just like if you're looking at the team sheets, because I was just from watching the player cams this entire tournament so far, I feel like nobody has looked at the team sheets after the game started.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's such good information just left on the table here.
It's a big deal to know what types of Terras are around.
Exactly.
I'm running Fire Terra on my house, but if I'm not mistaken, Jaden is running Steel.
Yeah.
So that's like something that could mix you up during the match, you know?
Definitely like a good point to make where you have so much information at your fingertips. And the other thing here too is that it possibly for the priority move with King Gambit because it will get shut off by the Psychic Terrain. So it's super good knowledge to have, and just seeing that high level play has been so fun.
Oh, I would have sucked a punch.
Yeah, you'll never catch me sucker punching the third time today in the second.
One thing to note is that Hydreigon is actually a Levitate, and so with that, it's not affected by Psychic Trains. You can actually sucker punch that slot specifically, but not the Skeletor slot.
Oh, I thought it was like reversed. I thought it was like Hydreigon could sucker punch.
No, it's
If the target
I know,
makes contact,
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, you see the sucker punch finish off the Hydreigon.
So you have to view it as like the terrain protects, not like affects.
Yes, exactly. But honestly, I think this game was essentially decided on turn one. Probably could have used Draco Meteor on Torkoal one turn earlier because the Torkoal can't protect, right? So that basically is just the KO if it hits. But she obviously came in with the game plan and executed exactly. And so the question is, what do you do if Boxbox up to
seeing how these openings are going to change.
Agreed.
And I think stuff like what we just witnessed about like using Terra Fairy or using like specific Follow Me, Trick Room openings, I think it's just varying so much than what we would have seen, say, like yesterday.
Exactly. So if it's Dark Pulse, Armor should survive, barring a critical hit. You do have to avoid a flinch from Dark Pulse as well. That would be a nightmare. But it could also just be Draco Meteors. So let's see if Jaden makes the mix up here.
I like the final gambit regardless. Just
Goodbye, NDD.
Get the NDD off the field for sure. But it really does come down to the survivability because if you get the trick room up, that's a free switch in for Bob.
Oh, that's a go! She gets it! Gets it again!
Yes, it is.
Oh
Gotcha.
my god.
Yeah, Torkoal looks nice now.
Yeah, that's gotta be a damage roll. Like,
That has to
so
be.
close.
Wow.
Complete side note, Armor Rouge looks so good.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm the only one like looking because I haven't really played this client that much.
I'm a Surge fan.
Okay.
They're both.
Okay.
I actually am
Yeah.
a Surge
So
fan.
good.
Yeah.
But something about the armor is more
Oh,
crystally,
yeah, no, that's
right?
sick.
It makes it look so much better.
It does.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just had to point that
No,
out.
I love that. We don't talk about that enough. The designs of the Pokemon and how cool they are. And sometimes that plays a, I don't know, that plays a role in sometimes what I pick.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Mythical legendary, it's like that kind of in between them. Kind
Like
of presented to be
Urshifu.
like a bit bigger than they were.
Yeah. I mean, the Armor Rouge now, this Trick Room really hasn't been a super present type of team as we've looked into the meta so far, but Torkoal, Eruption,
Okay, but the questionable part is now the expanding force.
Right.
That doesn't hit. Even if he read that he's going Steel Terra, that's
Oh,
still.
but it just KOs the Skeleturge. Yeah, so what's tricky there is like you always have just one Pokemon survive this turn most likely.
Yeah.
The Armors will faint. But the thing is, Hydreigon used Draco Meteor already, so it's already a -2 special attack, putting it into a really awkward spot.
Yeah.
you're stuck. You're just stuck with that on the field.
Yeah.
But like, look at that. Torkoal takes that so nicely. And especially when you get
actually.
Gambit too. This is looking pretty good, I think.
Yeah. No, Boxbox kind of like. It's really that damage roll in turn one that changed everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, this time Toedschool did not come out, but I think Toedschool could have been kind of cool because then you can Terra Water into it and then try to score on it, potentially. So this one's tricky because Meowscarada just isn't going to contribute any value while Trick Room is up. I think the best thing maybe Jaden could have gone for was trying to like go for a protect and stall out Trick Room a little bit, but I feel like this matchup boils so much down to that first turn
It
interaction.
really is that damage roll.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in game 3, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the exact same opening.
Exact
Maybe
same
a
play.
damage
just
roll
try
goes a little
again.
different. Yeah.
For
And then if
sure.
you're box, you can be like, okay, you're gonna Draco Meteor me always, you're not gonna Dark Pulse, so I'm not even gonna use my Terra, I get to save my Terra for like Torkoal, for example.
Yeah.
These are the mind games that can happen when you play VGC. Same lead, 3 times, play out in 3 different ways, so... Of course, it's still not over yet, but with Torkoal and King Gambit having multiple turns of Trick Room to work with, Meowscarada really one of the saddest Pokemon you can have in the field right now.
Yeah.
It's just so fast. Yeah. Not gonna be able to move before it probably gets knocked out here.
But the double protects.
Yeah, I mean that's the out right now, right? Maybe is just trying to stall out the sun and then also keep your focus sash intact and make sure that you're stalling out these turns of Trick Room.
Dude, this guy is a god gamer. He is so good. Because this is just such a terrible lead matchup, but he doesn't know how to play anything else.
Always figures it out though, right? Yeah.
But it's just true, right? He's always gonna win. The only winning strategy you have is Terra Trick Room and Follow Me.
Yep.
And he just figures it out.
Yep.
And then he figures out the correct targeting afterwards, and I think that this was a good double protecting because I'm actually blown away by how good this guy is at figuring stuff out.
Yeah, and he's been getting better and better for every single game
He's
that we've
learned
seen from
throughout
him.
the day, and if I see him, it's going to be in the actual bracket, and that's going to be probably the worst time for me to run into him. And it's so crazy because, like, again, I agree with you. He's learned throughout the day because one of the first questions he asked me was like, "Wait, there are numbers with HP?" And here he is doing like high-level plays. It's absolutely insane to me.
I think one of my favorite things about competing in tournaments is like you feel like you're so powering up sometimes as you go along. Boy, I'm sure you've experienced similar feelings, but it's like you like get the momentum going, and sometimes like you learn from your mistakes, and then you're like, I'm not gonna do that again, and then you just play at such a higher level after.
I think it's like this argument of people always talk about like skill versus talent. the same thing, but everyone doesn't focus on like the intuition versus knowledge, right? Like there's kind of like, and I feel like, you know, I think Jaden definitely the more rehearsed, knowledgeable player when it comes to Pokemon, but I think Boxbox just has like this natural gamer intuition, and he's just like, I think he has opened most games with a suboptimal lead.
Yeah.
But he still figures it out. Like he has all the corner puzzle pieces put, right? He has the whole outline there. He just fills it in every single time somehow.
It's really fun to watch because I think in like high-level Pokemon, even if the matchup is bad, you can find a way out of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's exactly what Boxbox has done. But let's see. I think we're going down to Game 3. Winner, I believe, makes it out of the group with Void, and it is going to be the exact same lead. And the exact same lead once again. No surprises here.
Same 3 games. Same 3 openings.
What you're saying, I wouldn't be surprised to just see the same play once again. And the question is, do you just gamble on that Draco Meteor survival, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you switch Armorous out into like King Gambit, because King Gambit is a Assault Vest, it takes the Draco Meteor, you go from there, but it's risky because then Armorous has to come back out anyway, you gotta worry about damage from...
I think like he could, if he really wants to, he could just like double up into Armorous. It probably gets like redirected anyways.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but the Dazzling Gleam here.
Yeah, that's looking kind of
Now we're gonna follow me.
Would it kill the head?
I don't think so, no special attack investment.
Oh, true.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think he has to trigger him here. He has to. But yeah, the question is now, like he's not going for the Terra because he maybe expects Draco again, right?
Yeah.
So conserving it. So we were talking about this in the end of game 2. Here we go.
The question for me, if I was in Jaden's position, is do I trust the min-max roll with the Terra, or do I trust the Dark Pulse with the non-Terra? Because I think it's 30%.
It is,
yeah. Pretty high, yeah.
It's like how the level 3 strat is the same as the level 1 strat.
Here we go. Oh, who needs Snowblade?
So we saw the same turn 1 3 different times.
Yeah,
3 very different games.
That's so rough though, because that really is the gamble that you're playing with that first turn.
Yeah.
Do you get the survival? And I feel like Boxbox still went for the most optimal play, but you do have to bank on that Armorous staying alive.
One thing is, Jaden also mixed things up a little bit this time by bringing the Toad School. So even if Trigger had gotten up, this time she at least had an answer for Trigger. You can, for example, switch her Hydreigon out, go for Terra Water with Toad School, and go for a Spore, and then go from there. So, would have been more doable.
I hope we see Terra Water here.
Me too. I just want to see Toad School like actually use an attack.
We're on the same team here.
Yeah.
Come on, Toad School.
One thing to note is that Toad School really doesn't apply that much offensive pressure, so the upside for Boxbox right now is you have a lot of damage on the field, and you know that Toad School can't Spore you. It's like doubling onto it for a knockout immediately here, but looks like he's debating between whether or not to target Hydreigon. I think Hydreigon switching out here would make a lot of sense. I think if a Spore goes off, it'll be really difficult to win the game, so... But the Water Terra, that's what you mentioned earlier, I think would be perfect here.
Oh, I think we're seeing it.
Staring.
Oh boy. Because I can imagine you Yeah.
Look at him!
Look at his little hat. That is what's the funniest.
Oh, Tailwind, but because of Toad School's ability, it's still going to be slower for now.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a weird one, because I feel like the Meowscarada would always be, if that's her last Pokemon, it'd always be faster anyways.
Yeah, so I think Draco would have been super safe if you consider switching, but look how well Toad School takes the eruption. So something's going to sleep, and now you've enabled the final Pokemon to, just be very, very strong. So Toad School finally, I feel like that's the first attack I've seen. But in the most important game, the deciding game to figure out who makes it out of groups, and there's the Skeledirge in the back.
It's still, like, I think, obviously, the Skeledirge gets through King of it very easily, but my fear is, like, getting through Torkoal is still a pretty big issue, even with the sleep.
It's scary, yeah, I think, like, one thing that helps is, like, Psychic Terrain is up, so you can't Sucker Punch, Skeledirge,
That could be the game. That could be the game.
Shot
He's
up.
looking at the time chart. That's not going to help you.
Oh gosh, he's running out of time, he's got 13 seconds. Oh no! Okay!
Yes.
Nice!
Boxbox, yes.
What's the priority
Yes,
here?
Boxbox.
School's done his job.
No! Wait, but yes! He didn't Terra!
Oh, is it again?
Oh, is it because he went back?
Yeah, but it does survive, it does survive.
Okay. I mean, he does have the assault vest on the King Gambit, right?
He does, yeah.
I'm
that should
shocked
help a
even in the
lot.
sauce.
Let go! Let go!
Toad School, go!
Wait, now King Gambit goes to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No sleep clause here.
I think with that, it is really hard to come back from. Because, like, Skeletor just bulky enough where he should survive an Earth Power anyway.
Yeah.
Maybe a crit Earth Power, I'm not sure. But, yeah, you have to wake up ASAP right now. King Gambit is, like, guaranteed to turn to sleep as well. So, Skeletor just super well positioned. But Toad School in the deciding game survives an eruption, survives that Kowtow cleave.
But here's the other thing. If I know Jim, like, Toad School doesn't really have a lot else.
Yeah.
And if Torkoal tries to Earth Power or Flame Power, I think Eruption is the right call because I think she's still spamming Spore on Torkoal just in case he wakes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Just kind of cover for that option.
Yeah.
But a knockout here would be pretty huge, and I think as well that the Terra to at least get the offensive pressure on Torkoal is quite nice.
It is just, I really wanted to see the damage roll again on, like, not knowing whether or not I'm going to survive another crit happens, you're like, well, that's that.
He should still be asleep though.
Yep. The King Gambit has to take his first turn of sleep here. There's no chance of not waking up, but it's Torkoal. That's the big question. I do think if Torkoal stays asleep here, it feels kind of toast. Let's find out. King Gambit is out of the way. It does wake up! Okay! We got ourselves a game?
I think we do.
It would be a miracle for Toad School to select this one.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, the crit matter. Oh my god.
Die by the crit? Oh my god.
Okay, I mean,
But it's a +2 Shadow Ball now from the Skeletor.
Yeah.
So,
Is it enough?
can Torkoal survive? Skeletors will at this point.
He also does. No, like he has slack off. I don't think he's pulling.
Slack off, you could protect Slack off into Shadow Ball.
Yeah.
You risk another crit, and then I get the question is, how confident are you surviving Earth Power after?
yeah.
I think she loses nothing by at least using protect here.
Yes, 100%. You're also stalling on the sun, although at this point that's not really super relevant. Yep, there's that protect.
I think it's just another random shit. Like, give me a breather.
Yeah.
Right? Let me reset that.
This is so intense.
No way. So many critical hits coming through in this game, too.
Yeah, I don't think Jade can be upset at that one. She got one earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit of, yeah.
The question basically now is, if you go for Shadow Ball, do you expect it to always KO, or do you slack off instead? I'm actually not sure. It depends. Like, I was thinking if Skeletor doesn't have like any special attack investment,
Ooh.
Torkoal might actually survive.
Yeah.
The clear smog option's also interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
Oh!
I would have Shadow Balled.
Oh my god. Is this gonna be enough in the Earth Power?
Yeah, here it comes out! Box pulls it off!
Holy cow!
Oh.
The deciding match for the groups.
So
That's
the
it.
Skeledirge does not have Shadow Ball.
Oh.
It has Protect, Slack Off, Torch Song, and Terra Blast, which are both not very effective in this situation.
Oh wow.
Wouldn't Terra Blast been fine though? Because
It's fairy.
no, it's normal type.
It's a fairy Terra.
Well, he wasn't Terrastalized.
Yeah, so it just
it would be
counts as a
normal.
regular. Yeah.
it was. Oh,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, I think
That would've been
like
it.
normal Terra Blast would have been the play, right?
Yeah, I
80
well,
power?
Sun was up, and you get the same type of attack bonus. I'm not sure what if KO'd actually anyway,
Yeah.
because it's pretty close.
Yeah, that's a rough one. I mean, at that point though, like you
Sun
gotta
wasn't up.
try to maybe send it. So.
Sun was it up?
No, that was the first turn of no sun.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was no sun, so Shadow Ball is a guaranteed KO.
Wasn't Shadow
No,
Ball.
but there was no Shadow Ball.
Oh,
No
right,
Shadow Ball,
she's
no Ball.
but
Yeah.
Terra Blast.
Normal
Terra
Terra
Blast.
Blast.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how he wins? He just wins. That's crazy.
It's absolutely insane.
Box.
Come
Can
here,
someone
Box.
count that? 'Cause I feel like normal Terra Blast
I
is
am
fine.
curious. I actually am really curious. Yeah.
Because +2.
And Torkoal's not like
Yeah.
especially bulky. Dude, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
You made it out of the group.
I can't believe I won that.
Yeah, congrats,
It was
man.
hella close.
I didn't know what to do about that opening combo. Because she
Not a lot,
she kills,
really.
She kills my NDD, and then if I Terra, like I'm still gonna die. If I don't Terra, I'm probably gonna die. I don't like. I feel like I was
let's just swap Pokemon, or I Terra anyway and just like hope that it barely doesn't kill.
Yeah.
Like in game 2, I barely survived. And I don't know if I got lucky or if I was always gonna survive. So in game 3, I was like, okay, I should just play my odds again. And then I did the thing where I terrestrialized and then went back to change my first move, and I forgot to re-terrestrialize and I died.
But it kind of came in clutch later. Because the Draco Meteor would have killed you anyway, but Torkoal had way more damage against the Skeleton in the end.
Yeah, you not using that, we thought it was all very intentional, because it was correct.
I thought it was mind games.
The
Terran King Gambit?
Oh, because you did. You selected.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
But at the end it was like, I'm just gonna use Terrestrialize, Fire, Eruption, and hope for crit, and then I got one.
Oh, you sure did.
Necessary.
I think
probably
so.
was.
It's probably necessary, so that was really cool, though.
That was so intense, man. We were joking about how, like, you bring the same 4 Pokemon, but you played, like, turn 1 so differently in so many... In this game, it was basically the same, but you would mix up, like, whether or not to Terra with the Armarouge or not. And you found the right adjustment in game 2 by going for the Grass Terra, which really helps a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, like, is it, like, not survivable turn 1?
I think it's like a damage
It's a roll.
Yeah, basically, like, it's a coin flip as to whether or not you survive Draco Meteor.
You live with Dark Pulse if you're Grass type.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So you made the right play, and then Jaden countered your right play, and then it ended up working out in game 2 because you ended up surviving anyway.
Yeah.
So it's super, super close. The margins are really thin there. Yeah.
No, she has Life Orb.
Life Orb.
Yeah, she has Life Orb.
But basically, yeah, it's not like a guaranteed KO, so you're both playing a coin flip on turn 1, essentially. Yeah.
And that's why, like, I mean, even like crit aside, I still think like game 2 and 3, just with like a low and high damage roll, could have gone the exact same way.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, cool.
Congrats, man.
Welcome to the bracket.
Yeah, you and Void made it out of your pool.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Our first match.
And now we get to watch you for Ludwig just for fun.
I don't like that. I have everything to lose.
Yeah, throw. Go in there with the mentality, I'm not here to win. Just make Ludwig look dumb.
I think I'm good.
Yeah?
I think you're good.
I think I'm
don't
good.
want
I
to
think
do
I'm good.
that.
But yeah, I do have to go up. So
Thank you for joining us, Void.
Yeah, I'll be on the couch more during the next group.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any games.
Yeah, please.
Best of luck, and yeah, we are down to the final game of course, this first group. Then we'll play out Group B, and then, of course, go into the playoffs. But that was nuts. That was one of the wild. I mean, that game 3 was like the biggest comeback I think we've seen in the tournament so far.
I agree, because I think we all thought
It was
Jaden
over.
had that all but wrapped up.
I forgot that she didn't have Shadow Ball. I forgot that it was
Yeah.
Terra Blast. But I do want to know the calc on that. I'm so curious.
Because I know, like, Terra Blast, it always uses, like, your highest stat.
So it
but
does.
only if it's terrestrialized.
Correct,
right? Yeah.
because it's a special attack otherwise. So
Yeah.
you still get the boost from the torch songs that came from the Skeledirge. So +2 special Terra Blast.
Yeah.
It's
Someone's
tough.
got to do the math.
Yeah,
on that
it's
one.
like I can't eyeball it because with Skeledirge I've seen sets where you have no special attack investment because you keep just snowballing with Torch Song.
But I feel like even though like Torch Song's not very effective, I think like that kind of like nullifies the stab anyways. Yeah.
Yeah, it's close. It's close.
Yeah.
My head is just like fried after that game. That was
That's fair, yeah.
nuts.
She got a crit in that last one though.
Yeah. Crit for crit. Well, one of the debates is also like considering like, do you heal back? How much does Earth Power do to Skeledirge? Because Skeledirge can heal like the 50% from slack off and a little bit from leftovers as well.
And you could protect again after that if you really wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So you could try to like heal up a little bit more, but yeah, in the end, I think one of the other things is with Skeledirge you can consider targeting like the Torkoal a little bit earlier instead of knocking out King Gambit as early as she did. King Gambit was like guaranteed to take a turn of sleep, for example. I think the fear was second turn is expiring soon. There's a fear of sucker
And true,
punch.
if she did do that, then that Torkoal eruption wouldn't have been as much damage.
It would have done
anyways.
way less
Yeah,
damage.
I think that was the
exactly.
correct play.
Yeah, especially because like King Gambit had to take a turn of sleep after Torkoal just put it to sleep.
Exactly.
Just one of those where it's like tempting to get the knockout, right? Because it's in front of you.
For sure.
But you could.
Just wasn't the imminent threat.
Exactly. Yeah. Because
I
like.
think it's as well though. It's so hard to remember all of those pieces at once too.
Yeah.
And maybe you take a little bit of a gamble that Torkoal stays asleep, and then all of a sudden it does look like a very different game.
Yeah, it's one of those like tricky situations because you're like, okay, well, King Gambit just fell asleep, so I know at least for one turn it can't move. Whereas Torkoal, it's already eaten a turn of sleep;
Also,
it can start waking up.
Another coin flip, but just Torkoal waking up in the first place.
Exactly.
Because I think we were all kind of like feeling it. Like it wasn't gonna happen.
Like maybe it gets 2 full turns of sleep
Yeah.
and then see what happens. But
I think it was tricky because like I feel like both players kind of had to just go with that lead and just hope that the coin flip works in their favor. And that's how like high level Pokemon sometimes plays out. You're like,
I
okay,
know, that
this
first
is my best
turn.
option. This is their best option. Let's just see how things go. I think there is you could make an adjustment of like going for I don't know like Indy King Gambit for example and use King Gambit to apply early pressure because like Brick Break into like Sucker Punch after Life Orb damage might actually be a KO on Didragon. But, Box is like, well, this is the only lead that I really feel comfortable with. And it makes sense, like, especially in a deciding
I'm
game.
gonna be shocked. He's gonna like make it to Grand somehow and then switch it up, and no one's gonna be ready for it.
yeah, then lead the Garchomp.
The Garchomp and the Rotom. Yeah, that's the question, though.
It's such a good lead, too.
I agree, yeah. Like, I'm just curious
So much
when the mix-ups,
synergy.
if they end up coming out, is it going to be Garchomp Rotom, or is it just the 4 Pokemon but
course.
switched in different orders,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so now we got Ludwig Void. This is essentially just like an exhibition match. This is just for the people. Also, hi Jaden.
Hello.
How are you?
Here.
What a game!
Yeah. It happens.
It happens.
It does. It happens to the best of us, for sure. See, the Toad School, though. Terrestrial,
he came out. He came
was
out
balling.
finally. He didn't ball as much as I wanted him to, but
he
He
did
balled
try
nonetheless.
its best. Yeah,
He did ball in the end.
It was awesome.
So going into this game, guys, any predictions? I mean, I know Void's like probably the favorite, just given the 2 wins, but
I think Ludwig can play spoiler.
yeah, I see it. But as someone who fought Void, I'm terrified.
he is so good. Oh
I
my
was
gosh.
like, he was in my head. I just like hit his Garchomp and protect like 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
It was like,
Same thing as I was saying like earlier with like that intuition versus just like knowledge. Like I think Ludwig, obviously like returning champ and all that. Like he won the Sword and Shield Invitational, Wolfie did. And I do think like the level of skill was a lot lower then because you casted it.
I did, yeah.
That was a much different tournament than this one. This is much sweatier. And I think like Lud definitely has the knowledge just from he's made Pokemon content. He's done a lot of Nuzlocke. He's done VGC stuff. And Void, you're seeing week 1 of Void, which is insane.
Insane.
It's insane that this is week 1. So I can see Ludwig just having that knowledge, but also he got Defiant checked earlier, so who knows?
It's again such an easy thing to forget about,
Yeah.
but it does come back to bite you. And at this point too, maybe just does Ludwig switch stuff up and maybe catch Void by surprise
I
for
think
some of
it's
the plays that he makes?
Hard to with the Dondozo team, if I can be honest.
yeah,
That's fair.
I was gonna say, what is the Dondozo Annihilate strat like matchup? I don't think it's too favorable. For
Oh,
the
let's
fish.
see.
Ooh, it depends on how I guess Void starts to play the Mousehold Annihilate combo.
I can see him getting away with the beat up here, honestly. I don't really think Ludwig has anything like eminently threatening.
Yeah, the one interesting thing is like Mimikyu's disguise is super good. Oh my gosh.
What? A full?
Okay.
A full swap?
But
I don't know.
But that just gives him like a
That
free
means
turn.
100% beat up.
Free.
I was gonna
He
say
could even bulk up if it wanted to.
exactly, yeah. what was interesting here is like because like Meowscarada is actually faster than Mousehold and Annihilates, you could pressure knockoff, and then if you go for beat up, because you have Focus Sash on Meowscarada and
Yeah.
Mimikyu as disguise, like you actually don't just like one-shot either Pokemon immediately.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'd say
I
the
see
double
it.
switch into Dondozo, that doesn't happen too frequently, so let's see what Void does to respond.
I see the double switch in like turn 2 or 3.
Not turn 1?
Yeah, turn 1's crazy. I will say every conversation I've had with Ludwig today about Pokemon has centered around Dondozo. So I think there's just like this innate fixation
on Dondozo.
He
Yeah.
loves Dondozo.
It's a pretty cool Pokemon, that's for sure.
I think if Void hits him with like beat up, bulk up, I think that's just a wrap.
Let's see. Is it going to be beat up or a follow me? Okay, a Terra to start. Oh! Wait, but this Terra's not going to help him out. Fire Terra maybe to cover for, the super effectiveness.
Yeah.
Meowscarada.
Yeah, like
Whoa,
Meowscarada.
whoa. Did Ludwig just bait that out?
He might just have.
Because this thing can get wave crash now.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god!
Void played too big brain.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I say it, you cannot mind game the mindless.
No way. That's what I'm talking about though, right? The surprise factor of doing
Ludwig
something
played the
unexpected.
Perfect
All right.
turn.
Yeah, that
I'll
could not
admit
have
it.
been
I couldn't even
I was
come up
being
with it.
mean. I'll take it back. Give me the Ludwig apology form. I got it.
Never in a million years could I ever whip up something like that.
That was actually so big brain.
I would never have the balls to do something like that. I'll be entirely honest.
This is like really difficult actually now, I think, for Void. He does have like clear smog Amoonguss, but with Steel Terra on the Dondozo, you just Terra and then...
You know what? I need Void to lose this. I need to shake his confidence a little bit.
That was nuts though. Like, the Fire Terror on top just makes it even tougher because now you're locked into that. But basically what Void was trying to go for, he was like, okay, well, you know, I don't want to get hit by a super effective Play Rough from the Mimikyu, the Meowscarada pressures with Flower Trick, and yeah, that's Steel Terra.
Against the Fighting type? And the Fire type?
Yeah, the Annihilate doesn't actually have any Fire type attacks or Terra Blast, so it helps.
But he still has, like, Drain Punch.
Yeah, I don't think it needed to go for it this turn.
Oh.
Okay. Protect from the Annihilate.
Is it EQ?
I would think so.
Oh, order up.
Oh, the mouse hold!
Holy crap.
No way.
Dude, he is a man on a mission right
Look
now.
at him flexing his...
What status move does Dondozo have?
Protect or Substitute are the only two you would normally... Or maybe Rest,
Yeah,
but this set doesn't have...
here.
Yeah. But
open team sheets, though.
Yeah. Ludwig is incredibly well positioned.
The attack boost from the order up and into an earthquake?
Dude, just Earthquake!
It's me.
He's +3?
+3, yeah.
I think this Earthquake goes dummy strong.
The question is, how does Void deal with Steel Terra Dondozo right now? Like, there's really no answer. Amoonguss, you have to put it to sleep, essentially. But then, how do you actually deal enough damage to KO Dondozo at this point? It's hard.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean,
Because,
Steel just being such a defensive type in general.
Exactly. Like, the best bet is Garchomp. Like, you could actually... Oh, Hydreigon has a Heat Wave, so you could,
Oh, the
Did you
double
go for the
protect?
double
He does, yeah.
Respect.
Doesn't get it.
I like the swap into Amoonguss, but, like, that's...
Oh.
That is... Wow. All I really gotta say.
It's just wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're like, what's he doing on turn one? And that's the answer. I love it.
Unbelievable. Wow.
He's actually played this game so well. Oh, no.
Oh.
Wait, why go for Protect and Beat Up?
I think, yeah, there's
Okay.
no
I
clear.
mean, he was just covering for both.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I guess...
Yeah, if you don't get the double protect there, and then Dondozo decides to target something else, or you survive, then maybe
Honestly,
the beat up is...
It's a fair play.
If he wave crash the Ghost of
absolutely.
Christmas Past, maybe.
I think you called it earlier, though. Like, yeah, switching into Amoonguss is nice. You resist it. Then you can actually go for Follow Me with Mouse Hold and then Spore into Dondozo because it can't protect because it's taunted. So I think that was maybe the one out. It would still even be difficult to win. It would come down to what the final Pokemon is, but the reality is Dondozo with the Steel Terror is so defensive. I was going to say, like, Scope Lens, you know, crit Dondozo with Heat Wave. That's, like, kind of the one opportunity.
Yeah, Follow Me Earthquake just invalidates that entire turn from Void.
If you saw Ludwig, he was not stressed about that follow me.
Amoonguss does survive, so it should be a Spore here, right?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay.
That was a super smart follow me, though, for Void, because, you know, if Dondozo does go for something like the order up, then you are guaranteed to get the Spore off, but Void's in such a tough position because he's down to his final two Pokemon, and you hope that there's something offensive in the back.
That's exactly what he needs!
Perfect! You
That's
can just
what he
get the critical
needs!
hits.
Exactly. But I think this is like one thing that makes Terra really hard in this format, right? Like, the Terra on Annihilate early on means that this Hydreigon now won't be able to defensively Terra for the remainder of the game, so it's weak to Play Rough, it's weak to...
This is also a Heat Wave Hydreigon, right?
Yeah, so I think, like, right now you just go for the Focus Energy and then you go for Heat Wave in subsequent turns. I don't know if it KOs Dondozo, I would think so, but Heat Wave is spread, of course, so it's like, the damage output is reduced, but...
It's so crazy that even the 2v1, the damage is still reduced.
Yeah.
Because, like, Tatsugiri's just invisible.
Yeah, exactly. All right, there's the Focus Energy.
Oh, what a monster this thing is.
Getting pumped.
Okay, a little Pollen Puff.
It's got to do something, so I respect it there. Gotta go for the
Just wanted
damage.
to do a little dance on the field.
It feels demoralizing, though, seeing Dondozo end up with more HP than it started the tournament. It's like, come on, but...
Unlucky.
He can now protect.
Yep, you're trying to wake up right now. Eating up one turn of sleep. Is Dondozo able to wake up right now? Surely Void will go for something like Rage Powder plus Heat Wave.
How do you feel about Wake Up Protect?
Like, you could, because you could go for the attack instead, because it covers for Amoonguss not sporing, right? So, yeah, Dondozo will take its sleep.
I feel like the big part about like wake up protect is like sometimes they aren't ready for you to wake up.
Exactly.
And you can catch them off guard, but you let them react.
Oh, and the mid.
Ooh, here
I
we
thought
go.
it missed for a
It's a
second.
Dondozo. It does get the KO. Critical hit guaranteed.
Oh my god.
We
I
got
was
a
like,
game.
maybe it misses, but then it was like just the Tatsu, and I was like, oh my
I
gosh.
saw the Tatsu miss and I got scared.
I got really nervous
Yeah.
and also kind of excited, but Ludwig still is in like a pretty okay position here. The Tatsugiri has the choice scarf, so
Mm-hmm.
they can go for some really fast attacks.
Yeah, Mimikyu also with disguise up is really nice.
Yeah. Ludwig's sitting pretty.
That turn 1 play, we were all like, what's going on? And then it looks like it was in Void's head, man. Like, wow.
Looking back, I think Ludwig's first play is always revolved on juking you out, but getting Dondozo in.
Yes,
Still.
exactly.
All the same.
Yeah, he's done it in several different ways.
But it's worked, you know? It's worked.
It's always worked.
So I think it's still possible for Void, but what's so tough is like you have to KO each Pokemon individually, right? Because like you have Heat Wave or Draco Meteor.
Yeah.
If you Heat Wave, Meowscarada's Focus Sash and the Tatsugiri survives. If you Draco Meteor, you can KO Tatsugiri, but then Meowscarada's at full HP.
Yeah.
Pollen Puff is actually really good, like offensively into
Just
the
breaking
Meowscarada.
sash.
Yep.
Exactly, and it, like
and quad effective.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
so strong to Meowscarada. So like the question is, yeah, do you protect the Hydreigon and then go for like a Spore, for example?
Still, in hindsight, I'm very confused at the Ludwig Steel Terra.
Yeah, I think it was just a little preemptive. It didn't need to happen that early
It was
on.
premature, and then when you saw like Hydreigon out, you're like, ooh, I shouldn't do that.
Yep, exactly.
Ooh, the Icy Wind is nice though because it does cover for the super effective option into both Pokemon. But I mean, it's still gonna do some damage here.
Yeah, the Tatsugiri actually had Soak here. I would have loved to see Soak into
Yeah.
the Flower Trick. Like, I think that's one
That'd
thing
be huge.
Ludwig's kind of missed out on using well with this team. And, like, I actually think Void kind of makes the one play, like, keeps him in this game, right? Because with this, now Tatsugiri is just useless for a turn. You're stuck in this awkward decision where it's like, do I switch out? Because if you switch at Mimikyu and Heat Wave comes out, well, the Mimikyu's disguise just gets broken. So,
True.
Void made the exact perfect play to keep himself in this one. I think Ludwig had an advantage, had a way to secure the game, especially with that Soak, but
Tatsugiri is so cute, man. Huge fan of the little guy.
he's just sleeping. Look at him.
Exactly.
He's taking a little cat nap right now.
Remember when they didn't fall asleep in like patch 1?
Yeah. Their eyes are just open.
Yeah. That's crazy that got
People
patched
did not
in.
like that one.
No, that's creepy.
This might be a comeback in the making, though. There's knockoff onto Amoonguss. Does it get the KO? It does. Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
the
Rocky
Monkey
Helmet
Sash
breaking sash.
Exactly. That's a little scary depending on where Void is gonna target.
I
Yeah.
think with that, Mimikyu should win as long as you don't miss like an infinite amount of play
Ooh,
routes.
that Heat Wave
Yeah.
kills.
Yep. And damages Tatsugiri ever so slightly.
A crit.
Oh,
Just for
double
good
crit.
measure.
Yep. And once again, with Focus Energy and Scope Lens, you're just guaranteed to crit every single attack, basically. But that was a crit onto Tatsugiri, and it did 17 damage.
I
so
respect the little guy.
yeah,
You know, Tatsugiri is surprisingly bulky.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron and I looked it up. Like base stats, like what, 475?
Something like
It's a
that.
lot.
Yeah.
I kind of expected him to be kind of like in that Sableye area as more like an assist
Yeah.
and like base stats, but that guy, he's
He
pretty
can
valuable.
swing.
Yeah, he sure can. He's scrappy.
Yeah.
Okay, the win con, you need Mimikyu to misplay rough. You need Tatsugiri to take 3 turns of sleep. Let's see. There's Heat Wave. Yeah, so you go Heat Wave, I think Heat Wave Mimikyu again. Hope that's enough to knock out. You could burn here as well.
We're seeing so many crits from Void.
He's just so lucky.
He's so
man.
lucky.
He's so
Happening.
lucky.
No miss. That's play rough. And Ludwig is here to play,
That's
ladies and gentlemen.
crazy.
There is something comical about like this being essentially a show match because it does
Yes.
not affect the bracket at all. We have guaranteed last in this pool against guaranteed first, and Ludwig took game 1
Look at boys.
pretty convincingly.
Not happy.
No.
To say the least.
Yeah, Jaden, before you got on the couch, Void said he was scared to face Lud because he has everything to lose here, is what he said.
Yeah. If I was Void, I'm not in the headspace I want to be going into
I
game
would have
2.
DQ'd it. You know, let's just move on to Pool B.
Yeah, right. I'm done.
Man.
What a game, though. Like,
That was
this is why I love
incredible.
Pokemon,
That was
right? Like,
intense.
oh my
The
gosh.
momentum just shifted all to Ludwig, and Void could not get it back.
Exactly. So the question now is, how do you deal with Dondozo Tatsugiri?
That doesn't
right?
work twice, right? You know, like that
Surely
doesn't work
not.
twice.
I think it
Or-
starts with like conserving Annihilape a little bit better, right? Like the Fire Terra was I can see why he was going for a bit because Mousehold had the follow me anyway. Like, you don't have to be that worried about feinting to, like, Mimikyu plus Meowscarada. You could follow me, but I think from Void's perspective, he was like, okay, Mimikyu and Meowscarada, they're just going to attack me. If I go for follow me and my Annihilate attacks, it's actually a pretty bad trade, right? Because, like, maybe you bring the Meowscarada down to Focus Sash, you break Mimikyu's Disguise, but then you lose a whole Pokemon for it. So, I think Void's play made a ton of sense, but yeah, Ludwig just goes with this next level play of double switching Dondozo Tatsugiri, and it pays off perfectly.
It doesn't even look like he's bringing Annihilate this time.
So yeah, maybe
Void opened up too much.
Seeing how little it did in that game number 1, maybe just doesn't want to bring it again.
The Garchomp's interesting, right? Because, like, the thing with Annihilate is in order for it to get going, you really want to get that beat up off. But I think the fear is, okay, even if I get beat up here, well, there's the Disguise on Mimikyu, there's the Sash on Meowscarada, and Dondozo Tatsugiri are just pretty bulky. Garchomp, hey, if Dondozo tears into Steel, I can hit you for super effective damage with Earthquake. So the logic is I get a little bit more immediate damage rather than a more setup-oriented strategy. Okay, here we go. I am like...
It's fitting that Ludwig has the Tatsugiri profile picture.
I am rooting for both of them, but Lud, what a performance. And okay! Amoonguss Hydreigon this time is the mix-up.
Yeah, and so Dondozo's already on the field, and so this is really interesting now that Void has started this game number 2 with the Amoonguss, because you could just go ahead and say, well, maybe Tatsugiri switches in here, Dondozo gets the commander boost, but then you focus down on the Dondozo.
What's really hard is the Spore on a Dondozo is so guaranteed.
Wait a second. Is he switching out? Okay, I thought he was switching out Dondozo for Mimikyu, and I was like, I don't.
I'm not one to judge
anymore. Let him cook, guys. Let him cook.
I think the tough thing is I love the Amoonguss adjustment by Void because, like, it's so bulky, can survive like a knockoff plus attack from Dondozo. So Void can very easily Spore into the Dondozo slot right now. With Hydreigon, you can play a little defensively. You could just go for the increased crit ratio immediately, but here's the switch.
Okay.
I'll be real. Maybe I'm just gonna let him cook. I don't think the reverse
Can't
works.
say anything yet.
I think Amoonguss lead is such a good adjustment here, by the way, though. Like, it covers for everything. Protect is so safe. Like, there's nothing like Ludwig can really do to beat this, essentially. And there's the Spore,
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, if anything, I would have swapped out, like, Meowscarada for
Mimikyu.
Yeah.
And then protect the...
Yeah, because, like, it's not like he would Spore into Meowscarada anyways.
Yeah, it's just tricky. I think it's one of those where, honestly, Ludwig's really behind from the lead, and so, like, he might be like, well, okay, I gotta just make some big YOLO plays because I'm so far behind.
I think he's going for the unpredictable strat.
Yes, exactly.
I would call his playstyle unpredictable. Yeah, I agree.
Try to catch him off guard a little bit there.
This time around, though, I think Void okay. Considering the Terra, I don't really know about that one.
Oh, he canceled it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think knockoff is actually cool, right? Because you can get rid of the scope lens, so the crits aren't guaranteed anymore. So yeah, he finds it. Nice.
Oh.
I like this. I actually think this is an excellent play by Ludwig. Like, if you can make sure that the Hydreigon can't crit consistently, then if you Terra Steel, both of the like Dondozo answers are suddenly checked, and so that's an excellent knockoff.
Yeah. The other thing here too is that maybe Ludwig does have a bit of a free switch here. Because you're looking at the fact that, Mimikyu's already asleep. Maybe you don't go for the Spore again. Big burn, though.
Is it just a Pollen Puff onto that slot as well? I would expect it to be. Yep.
Yeah, that should be a dead Meowscarada.
Yeah. So it's interesting because, like, this time around, there's no more scope lens, right? So Hydreigon isn't guaranteed to crit, but with the Garchomp adjustment in the back, if you Terra Steel, Earthquake now does more into the Dondozo.
Oh, true.
Yeah, and I see, like, he could just bring Tatsugiri in right here, but I don't know.
I think
feel
that's
like
a huge commitment here.
Especially with Spore actively on the field. Like, he'd have to pretty much knock out Amoonguss, like, this turn to have, like, a significant lead.
Yeah, you could also, like, you could have brought out Mimikyu first, because you could always just switch into Tatsugiri anyway, and it just makes, like, targeting a little bit more confusing.
Yeah.
So now it's like, you're committed to Dondozo Tatsugiri, so...
Yeah, with sleeping Mimikyu in the back, that's not the best anchored.
Exactly. And what's really tough is Amoonguss is so bulky, you can just so easily protect and then Spore into the Dondozo slot. And once Dondozo is asleep, you know, it can't actually do any damage. And so this is where Amoonguss, being so tanky, makes it such an effective Dondozo answer.
Yeah, and even if you do damage to it now, Void could switch it out. Still having Pokemon in the back, but there's the protect.
Okay. Order up.
Okay.
I don't think it'll do enough. Yeah, less than half.
That's still a lot more than maybe I would have expected here.
Solid damage for sure, but there's the Spore.
At least he dies in one more order up, but
yeah,
I think like Ludwig at least gets 1 or 2 turns you just beat on the Dondozo senselessly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mushroom is so annoying.
I think the debate is like, do you try to pivot in your Garchomp right now, or do you just start like, do you just click Draco Meteor? For Ludwig, like, do you consider terroring because you're afraid of these Draco Meteors? Because Draco will still hurt, right? And the other thing is with Unaware, the special attack drops don't count towards Hydreigon, so you can keep launching Draco Meteor, and it still does pretty. Oh! Or just go for Focus Energy again.
I respect
as well.
Okay.
Commit. Oh. Friendship.
So the Pollen Pump's gonna heal up Hydreigon, right? So it's at full HP. Amoonguss can keep going for Rage Powder now, and Hydreigon can just Draco into the Dondozo slot, so...
I don't know if Ludwig knew Pollen Puff did that.
Yeah.
Ooh. Also, do you guys
Easy thing to forget.
think there's a timeline where Ludwig tries to Earthquake the Hydreigon?
Oh. I saw him like hover Earthquake for a second. I was like, don't speak it into existence. But I think he went for the order up. That's the right play. Amoonguss can just go for a Rage Powder now.
Yeah, but you still target down the more prominent threat on the other side, in case that's not the case.
There it is, Rage Powder.
Yeah, if I'm Lud, I probably want to take out Amoonguss anyways.
Yep. But it stays asleep.
Wow. Is that the 3-turn sleep?
No, that's 2.
2 turns so far, yeah. Oh, but Draco Meteor misses!
No way!
We're gonna pretend that turn didn't happen. If anything, that turn heavily benefited Ludwig by stalling out
He
the
just
sleep.
burns a free turn of sleep for nothing, essentially.
Oh, and now he's aiming at... It doesn't matter, it's getting redirected, but...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You still definitely aim at the Hydreigon for sure.
Oh, but there's the 3-turn sleep! Okay, Draco does connect this time around. And that is the crit. Double Focus Energy. I didn't think about that because you're so used to just seeing it once.
Yeah.
But so
I don't know
big
why I
brain.
didn't think they can't just stack.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, the sleeping Mimikyu. It's so sad to see that have to switch in.
Yeah, and honestly, even if Dondozo woke up earlier, it was still kind of getting cooked. Like, because you would need to knock out Amoonguss and then knock out Hydreigon, so it would take 2 Dondozo turns, essentially, to actually win that trade-off. But
what, he was at +2 crit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Wideland or Scopelands.
So the only thing out that I saw there as well was, you know, if you do get the order up into the Amoonguss because it Rage Powdered it away, Tatsugiri might be able to get a chance to come back out and go for, like, Icy Wind or something to at least help out with the speed control.
Exactly. You'd have to, like, Icy Wind play rough in the endgame and try to use Mimikyu to sweep through, but the problem was Mimikyu eating the sleep so early on, you know,
absolutely.
and so... These are not exactly the 2 Pokemon you want in the endgame to try to close things out, but at least, you know, the Mimikyu has disguise for a turn here.
For
but
sure.
Yeah, it's going to stay asleep. And the Amoonguss adjustment as the lead was, like, so pivotal here.
Yeah. Just, honestly, super tragic that I got max
Oh,
sleep
no
turns.
crit this time around, though. So, yeah, that is one of the things. The Draco actually wasn't guaranteed to crit onto the Dondozo earlier, which is, like... It's just so weird because Focus Energy, like, I've actually never seen Focus Energy get to +2 because it's always just with Scope Lens, right?
Yeah.
It's a really unique interaction there. So, yeah, Ludwig had an out if the Draco did not crit the Dondozo and it wakes up. Like,
yeah, 3 sleep turns is rough.
Yeah,
that's super rough.
But then we also did throw a Draco Meteor miss on top of that, so I feel like maybe the right outcome.
It balanced out.
Exactly, yeah.
2 Dracos probably would have been fine.
Yeah, precisely. And even without crits, like, Draco's still pretty strong until Dondozo. Yeah. And then, yeah, the special attack drops just are ignored anyway, so even if you're not critting the subsequent ones, you're still doing decent damage.
Terror from Ludwig. He probably could have done the... I think after 1 Draco miss, he could have probably safe to do the Terra Steel.
Completely agree, yeah.
So.
I feel like we're really just going through the motions right now. Icy Wind, of course, won't help against the Icy Wind, but survives, so even if Mimikyu wakes up now, any play roughs will get redirected into Amoonguss instead. And there's a wake up!
Yeah! There you go. Shadow Claw.
Okay, Amoonguss off the field at least at long last. Or it might be a day late, a buck short for Lud here.
Depends on how much it can survive. Also, what is in the back here for Void?
Ooh.
That is the most overkill Draco Meteor. Like 12 HP Tatsugiri just eats it up and goes. The fact it survived earlier, though, that in itself, I was like, you know, it's pretty impressive. We keep talking about Tatsugiri's bulk. Like, not bad, not bad. But it's a 3v1 now. Mimikyu can, of course, like pick up a knockout onto one thing, but that's basically it. So I'm just really curious, like, what does Ludwig do to adjust to Amoonguss? Because Amoonguss is really good into his entire team. And there's Maushold, actually.
I don't mean to be a doubter, but I do think Void's taking this one home. But Game 3 could be an entirely different story. This is the first Game 3. No, Jane, you and Box went to the Game 3, right?
Yeah.
I think those are the only 2 Game 3 sets we've seen so far.
Box and Ludwig went
to Game 3 as
well.
well.
They did? Okay,
yeah.
I'm just wrong. Yeah, flat out entirely 100%
Yes,
wrong.
you were.
Yeah, incorrect.
Oh, it's
half the games, in the group went to
one
Game 3.
time for
You
sugar.
were almost there, basically.
Yeah, that was 50-50.
Well, we haven't even
He's
had
ready
a
for
2-0.
the
What do you
sink.
mean?
Put it in the sink.
Okay, that's the
Insane
ghost.
prediction from Ludwig.
Oh yeah, there goes to the disguise. I mean, so how much is this beat up gonna do?
I think beat up's a cute option here.
It's so weird seeing a super effective beat up from like the mouse hold onto the Mimikyu now that it's Terran, but player up will help. But yeah, now like Mimikyu's just slowly killing itself, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the Ghost Terror kind of just hurt it, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this game was always locked up, honestly. It was one of those where like Terra just had to come out from Dondozo earlier, like you called out.
He could have. Does Void have population bomb on this one?
No.
It's just
Gotcha.
true support mouse hold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Ludwig like needs to get around Amoonguss a little bit better, because the problem is Amoonguss' lead is too good. And with the lack of protects on Pokemon like Mimikyu and the Tatsugiri, like it's too easy to just spore, right? And so like he just lost so much momentum early on in this one.
Yeah, in a world of like Trick Room, Ally Switch, everything, follow me. I still think my least favorite move in all of Pokemon is Spore.
Really?
Yeah.
It's mean.
It is mean.
I was trying to be really mean with it. The game didn't let me.
I think like I get the sleep powder. I don't like full sleep. What? That's me.
I just want to know what Lud and his coach are cooking up for Game 3. It's tough because I think the Amoonguss lead is brutal. Like I think Void found the exact answer, and like in Pokemon sometimes you just have, you know, matches where it's like, okay, your opponent finds a lead and it just beats everything that you can have, right? And so it's like, does Ludwig even have any answer for a Hydreigon Amoonguss? It's definitely not what he led with in the last game, that's for sure.
I'm gonna assume he called his coach, because I walked by Ludwig on the way to this commentary booth and he had his phone to his ear and said, "Hey, real quick, how do I beat Void?" So I'm gonna assume that was his coach.
I would think so. I mean, I wonder if there's a world where Ludwig baits the Spore, maybe goes for a Protect on Dondozo instead, and then and tries to get some damage down onto the Amoonguss, and maybe if you get it in range of a 2-hit knockout, it's a little bit more
but there's the
manageable.
safety goggles Tauros.
Yeah, he also has Fire Tauros.
That's the answer. That's the answer.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the sauce right there.
I like this, like exactly what you said. If he opened with Dondozo and then the Tauros, I feel like Void's like, okay, now he's gonna switch in Tatsugiri like he's done every other turn one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think if I were expecting the same lead, I'd go Meowscarada plus Tauros, because neither of those Pokemon can get hit by Spore, and they ignore the Rage Powder from Amoonguss. So you can like double up onto the Hydreigon slot. Amoonguss is completely useless. It can't Pollen Puff actually Meowscarada, so it's somewhat scary, but yeah, I would go Tauros, Meowscarada, lead, Dondozo, Tatsugiri in the back. I think Mimikyu's just not contributing enough. And it's hard to draw because it's like, yeah, it has super effective Play Rough into Annihilate, Garchomp, and Hydreigon, but how often are you going to actually get that?
He also used it to set Trick Room earlier. I think he used it to cancel Trick Room in Box.
Yes.
That's what he did.
Yeah, exactly. And Mirror of Gastrodon, unfortunately, I not
I would
the
love
match.
to see a Gastrodon, personally.
I
Just
agree.
for me.
I agree.
Same.
But I think Lud's here to win. He's like, oh, okay, here it is. Oh no! But he's going Mimic. Okay.
Please no.
You have 5 seconds, Ludwig.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You gotta get the fish. Hurry.
Okay.
Jeez.
Oh.
Wait, what was his opening? Tauros and who?
Mimikyu.
Tauros and Mimikyu.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that he selected the Mimikyu.
Well, he at least selected the Pokemon in time.
Yeah, he got
so
4
he's got
Pokemon.
something. Yeah.
It's a
That
good
would have
start.
been a very interesting game.
I like the Tauros adjustment though. Like I think that's what he
Same.
needs.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, but a mix-up. No Hydreigon Amoonguss.
Wait.
Oh no, Defiant!
Yeah, I thought this is an island Defiant.
Oh
It
my
happened again.
god.
It's
It
happened,
happened again. Oh no.
Lud has not reacted to this
my
information yet.
God.
Void smiling though. He has. What an insane adaptation from Void on that one. Okay, we're just bringing it in.
Sure.
Send it.
Okay, we've seen this happen before, and it worked out very much
No,
in
I'm
the
not
favor of
doubting it,
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure did.
I think Void has to like
going?
not go for a Terra immediately on an island. And this time he really does not need to, right? Like
I can, like, if he was scared of like Mimikyu Play Rough,
That's
But
yeah, exactly.
I think he's learned.
Yeah.
Also, this theme goes so
It's
hard.
I think it's
good.
like one of the best songs in Pokemon just ever.
Yeah.
Like,
I refuse to battle with any other music.
totally agree.
Good choice.
Okay.
So,
It's turn 1 always. There's no mix-up here. I think if Void was surprised here, that's on him.
Yeah, I agree. Especially because he saw it in the first game, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know that's a
Yeah.
possible play now, but I don't know. Void's played this whole tournament so smartly, but uh-oh!
oh
No!
no!
Terra!
Did he?
Oh,
No!
no!
Oh my god!
No!
Ludwig's done it again!
He can't keep getting away with it!
I guess it was the play rough, yeah?
Wow.
Okay, well, you know what? At least you get the beat up into the Annihilate. You're going to be able
is
to power up
scary.
that Rage Fist.
Yep.
It does make
Yeah.
it very scary. But where do you target?
Oh,
my
it's into the Dondozo!
If that had been in the Tatsugiri slot, that wouldn't
Okay,
have been able to
okay.
do that. But
Yeah.
that's still good damage.
It's decent damage for sure,
I do
yeah.
think like the difference of this in game 1 when Ludwig got away with this was that I'm pretty sure that the Maushold used Follow Me and then he did Terra to try to redirect. So at least Void got damage here.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is so much better actually for Void because in the first game, like he straight up just did not get anything, like didn't get the stacks up on the island.
The Tatsugiri too.
Yeah, exactly. So
Ooh.
the thing is, Maushold is Friend Guard, right? So Annihilate, I would expect to survive the Earthquake here.
Yeah.
Actually, Maushold might even. Like, the Maushold is really bulky. So, yeah, you could go for a Wave Crash to guarantee a knockout onto, like, I would, for example, you could Wave Crash Annihilate. If Follow Me comes out, it gets redirected into Maushold.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about, like, Protect plus Taunt, for example, but yeah.
It looks like he's going to order up into the Maushold, and I think he's probably expecting the Protect from Annihilate here.
Yeah. There's the Amoonguss, though.
Yep.
This is the play you wanted to see in that first game.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
There
Oh,
you go.
smart
Nice.
targeting though, and the attack boost you're gonna get from the order up as well could really help out if you want to go for an Earthquake next turn.
Ooh,
I don't
that's a
think
lot.
Wow.
I don't think Ludwig has missed a single like Protect read.
He's been
No,
yeah,
he
on point with
hasn't.
it. Yeah. This turn is, I think, really interesting because, like, so Annihilate's Rage Fist stacks, like, they stay even if you switch out the Annihilate.
Yeah.
So you could conserve it for later, right? That order up did a lot to Amoonguss, and
Now
my,
+3.
yeah, exactly. So my question is whether or not it knocks out Amoonguss, right? Because if so, you could just go for it
Oh my
immediately.
God.
I think we
I
commit.
order up into Amoonguss IMO.
Yes.
Just to make
Yeah.
sure you don't go to sleep here.
Because it does. This one doesn't have Protect on it, does it?
Oh, that's right.
So
Oh.
I really think you could just go for the knockout into the Amoonguss and
Yeah.
avoid the Spore for the rest of the game.
Exactly, yeah.
Because there's also the risk if he's going to Wave Crash and Annihilate, what's the likelihood of him, probably not Rage Powder here if he's going for Spore, but I think both are bad. I see no reason to just double up into, or not double up, but just go into the Amoonguss here.
Yeah, if I see that Among Us, I'm seeing red. He's going down.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh.
It does get the knockout
Wow.
here. So maybe Ludwig's not so afraid of being put to sleep by this Amoonguss because it really depends on what he
does
thinks is
have
going to be in the
Tauros.
back.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
that's just the risk reward for him, yeah?
Yeah, it was one of those where it's like, okay, you know, if Rage Powder comes out, sure, you know, I still get a lot of damage on you, and your Annihilate doesn't KO me, right?
Yeah.
And
Or
are you
big
really gonna Rage
lead.
Powder when I can potentially KO you? But yeah, you guys were calling it. Like, Lud, I feel like, has played the turns correctly with Dondozo
Yeah.
every turn, which is so impressive.
This is incredible. I love watching this match.
Oh my gosh. So
This
now,
dragon.
the Dondozo does have to stay asleep for a guaranteed turn, right? So of course you could go for the focus energy. Yeah, and so I think what this might boil down to is does Dondozo wake up quickly enough? You also
Yeah.
have to consider there's still the, you know, potential Tauros in the back, and that has safety goggles, so it actually doesn't have to care for Amoonguss. And Tauros is actually so good offensively into the Hydreigon, Amoonguss, and the Maushold in the back.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. I see it.
Yeah. I like it because in doing that, you get Regenerator, so Amoonguss gets some more HP for later
Yep.
on in the
It's also
battle.
done its job as
Exactly.
of right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
And guaranteed turn to
Maushold,
sleep.
good. Follow me later. You got the Friend Guard back out on the field.
Exactly.
That is really nice.
The thing, though, is right now, all of the damage for the remainder of this game comes from Hydreigon. If Hydreigon goes down, that's it. So all of the eggs are basically in the Hydreigon basket.
Are we expecting a Follow Me here from Maushold?
That's a great question. I would always follow me here.
I think I just saw the Earthquake and a Hydreigon, just putting it out there.
Hey, at least he'll know.
The debate here, I think, for Lud is, do you consider going for the Terra because you expect Draco Meteor?
Yeah.
And so you, like, give yourself an extra turn to work with, basically. But there's follow me. Yep. Oh my
Does it
gosh.
wake up though?
It does wake up!
Wow.
No way.
He didn't Terra, but the question is, did Void read into the Terra Heat Wave instead of Draco?
I'll be honest, I think I go for the Heat Wave. I try to be cheeky.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
No way.
Wow.
Okay, I mean, you get some damage down, but that just doesn't feel enough. And
No.
now you could go for a guaranteed knockout onto the mouse hold.
I think
Oh man.
we kind of play this game here now where Void's like, okay, does he hold out again? Yeah, because like, the longer Ludwig can put off Steel Terra, the better it is for him.
Absolutely.
Oh, and Ludwig still has Mimikyu with the disguise intact, right?
Yep.
And Tauros.
And straight up Tauros.
Yeah, I think Ludwig wins the set against like the impenetrable wall of Void.
No Terra once again. Order up here will get the knockout onto Mousehold, but once again, remember, Void only has this Hydreigon in terms of damage output. Amoonguss is not a damage dealer. Is it Heat Wave or Draco Meteor?
I call Draco. I'm calling Draco.
Ah, you got it, but it misses!
Oh my
god!
No!
Ludwig laughing here.
So
Thumbnail face in
unlucky.
check.
Oh my god.
I actually think it's... I don't want to call it, you know, quite yet, because anything can happen in Pokemon.
Yeah.
But it's tough. It's tough now.
I feel like is Amoonguss even with the regenerator health, with Dondozo at +4, that has to be enough for a knockout with an order up, right?
I could see Amoonguss surviving. It's close. I
But
think you
it
have to
could.
protect. Oh, okay. He goes for Rage. I was going to say you protect Spore here, so Amoonguss can stick around for a little bit longer. The problem is there's just too much offense in the back now for Ludwig, right? So order up comes out. Yeah, Amoonguss does survive.
But he doesn't
close.
again.
Good to
Yeah.
know.
There's the Draco finally.
Yeah.
3 turns.
There you go. I think that was really smart. I think, yeah, it's like, you're like, surely it won't miss again.
Yeah.
But now we got like Hydreigon with like half special attack against essentially a full team of Ludwigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need the critical hits at this point.
The problem is that, like,
Oh, interesting.
the crits aren't even that strong, right? Because it's like, okay, you can Draco to KO the Tatsugiri, but one, Tatsugiri is already faster than you because of Choice Scarf. Mimikyu also has Disguise, so you can just go for the knockout onto Amoonguss, and then it's like a 3v1 against Hydreigon, and Hydreigon's just slower here as well, so...
I like Icy Wind.
Yep. I think we're going to see Ludwig take his first victory against none other than Void.
Void is not looking too confident here.
Can you imagine if we started the day with this match instead? Like, how different would
I think Ludwig would have been better. Like, I think Ludwig would have made it out if this started with this.
I think, yeah, Void probably wouldn't have done it as well. Ludwig, right in the eye.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely.
And at this point, Ludwig would have known what Defiant did.
I like the
we
adjustment
learned
from
that
Void.
one.
I think Void just, like, the Fire Terra is what really punished him so early on, because then you can't defensively Terra with the
Twice,
Pokemon
too.
in the back, yeah.
And now you can like play rough into Hydreigon safely, knowing that he's not going to Steel Terra or Fire Terra.
Yep. There's the knockout. It's all down to Hydreigon, but it's
he
not
knows.
going to be able to do it.
Oh,
Yep.
Void knows. Taking the headset off already.
We saw turn 1. We really got to let Ludwig cook, man.
The
Me
momentum.
especially.
That was irreversible momentum. Both games. Holy crap.
That was something super special coming out from Ludwig there. And that's the thing, right? Void was preparing for like a very particular line of play, and then Ludwig just surprised Void with that matchup.
Again, I don't think Ludwig missed a single protect read.
He did not.
Like, that is, I think the craziest part about Ludwig's play is the 100% accuracy on playing around protect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because if any of those turns go incorrectly, it's a completely different ballgame.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
What a way to end the group, right?
Yeah.
Like,
That was crazy.
The game had no implications for who makes it in or out, but like, boy, was it so fun to watch.
Yeah, I want to talk to Ludwig about that one.
Yeah. Speaking of
The champ
Holy crap,
himself.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Dude, my dream got actualized.
Yeah?
My dream. Look, I was never gonna win this shit. I boot up the game yesterday. I found out what terrorizing is. I've been doing it to all the children on Showdown. But I beat the guy who's poised to crush the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
All right. So if Void, this is my dream now. Void wins out. He doesn't lose another game, right?
Yeah.
This is like you know his fall from grace. He has to come back.
And then you're that guy.
Yeah, you shattered him.
I didn't make it out of pools, but you know, I beat one cool thing. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Am I last in our pool?
Yeah, that was the last game.
am dead last? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Jade, you want an RPS for who's
A
actually
strong
last?
last, though.
You want an RPS for who's actually last?
Oh, I beat you 2-0.
So we're talking about details today. No, it's cool. We're a detail-oriented team. I like that. Wolf, I'll never forgive you for putting me in Group A. What the fuck? Look at Group B, bro. Lily, Connor, and Sykkuno have played 8 games amongst the 3 of them.
I appreciate that. Thanks for not
I
mentioning
didn't put
me,
you.
man. Yeah, thank you. It means a lot.
Yeah, every other day I'm like, it's a Nuzlocke, but this time it's only low punny, and I cannot get hard. It's like, okay, I don't know about this one, but anyway.
Okay, I have to ask you, man, how did you just, have the balls to go to Dondozo Tatsugiri turn 1?
3 games in a row.
Did I do it all 3 games?
Yeah.
No, was it not in
No,
game
that
2,
was
right?
game
Because
1
game
and
2, like the
3.
Mimikyu.
Look at Group B, bro. Wolf, am I last in our from Great Win? I found out.
Yeah, himself.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Dude, my dream got actualized.
Yeah?
My dream. Look, I was never gonna win this shit. I boot up the game yesterday. I found out what terrorizing is. I've been doing it to all the children on Showdown. But I beat the guy who's poised to crush the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
All right. So if Void, this is my dream now. Void wins out. He doesn't lose another game, right?
Yeah.
This is like his fall from grace. He has to come back.
And then you're that guy.
Yeah, you shattered him.
I didn't make it out of pools, but I beat one cool thing. That's pretty good. That's not bad. Am I last in our pool?
Yeah. That was the last game.
Am dead last? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Jade, you want an RPS for who's
A
actually
strong
last?
last, though.
You want an RPS for who's actually last?
Oh, I beat you 2-0.
So we're talking about details today. No, it's cool. We're a detail-oriented team. I like that. Wolf, I'll never forgive you for putting me in Group A. What the fuck? Look at Group B, bro. Lily, Connor, and Sykkuno have played 8 games amongst the 3 of them.
I appreciate that. Thanks for not
I
mentioning
didn't put
me,
you.
man. Yeah, thank you. It means a lot.
Yeah, every other day I'm like, it's a Nuzlocke, but this time it's only low punny, and I cannot get hard. It's like, okay, I don't know about this one, but anyway.
Okay, I have to ask you, man, how did you just, have the balls to go to Dondozo Tatsugiri turn 1?
3 games in a row.
Did I do it all 3 games?
Yeah.
No, was it not in
No,
game
that
2,
was
right?
game
Because
1
game
and
2, like the
3.
Mimikyu switched in, and
Oh, game 1 I thought I'd bait it. Game 1 I was gonna start Dunzo, and then why are we laughing?
No, we were just
Game 1 I swapped in. That was the coach's plan. Game 2 it was like, let's pretend I'm gonna swap in by like even baiting it a little more.
Yeah.
And then not doing it. And then game 3, this is what it usually happens in a Pokemon event. I go back to the game 1 plan because that worked. So let's just try that again, right?
Yeah,
Like,
fair enough.
might as well.
I just can't believe you got like the Fire and Terra Annihilate like turn 1 baited, like twice.
Oh, because he did, yeah.
Oh.
So I didn't even realize that was good for me. But
Bad dog. That didn't take long at all.
You become weak to me. That's the.
I'm so mad. I feel like game 1, I was like, okay, he's playing way better than he played earlier. He's Terra's Dondozo. I was like, okay, I kind of have to make some reads. And then like game 2 and 3, I just feel like everything went out the window. And it just threw me for a loop. I was like, okay, well, Dondozo, he hasn't terrored this turn. Surely he's terroring next turn. Oh, he did. Surely. And I was like,
Yeah.
dude.
So, Lud, right before that game, Void was sitting here and he just said, I'm so scared of this match because I have nothing to gain here and everything to lose.
No, yeah, that's for sure true. Yeah, you lost a lot. No, I do. But hey, you played a hell of a game. I mean, honestly, I think you played the same way I played against BoxBox, where I was like overthinking every single thing because to beat BoxBox was basically like to get out in a way, and so I was like, oh, I need to beat him. And then I was like overthinking it, and then with Void, I was like, I made every move in less than 5 seconds. And all I did is I clicked on the attacks, and I listened to what my coach did for the first thing. And then I looked at the attacks, and if it said effective or super effective, I was like, I'll do that one. And then when I fucked up, because I didn't realize Earthquake, it said effective. That was a lie. That was a lie. I guess he's flying. I should have picked that one up. But it was like, I was like, effective. Cool. It'll hit both.
In the middle, in game 3, when it was already done, I was like, I probably lost. My outs are so few in between.
Yeah.
Led told me, he's like, yeah, I'm just waiting 5 seconds on every move. And I was like, if I knew this information like 4 minutes ago, this would have been great. There's no way he's gonna think about Tatera or not with 5 seconds. He just learned what it is.
Can you explain to me, why is it good to tear with my Dunzo?
I don't think it's worth explaining, if I can be honest.
He turns steel, so I can't get rid of your stat gains.
Draco Meteor is not very effective, so I have to kind of coin flip between Draco Meteor Heat Wave.
So that's why he was heat waving you in the end of game 3. He was like, oh, you're gonna turn steel, you're gonna survive these Draco Meteors.
Dude, at one point he waves me and it does nothing. I'm like, why'd you heat wave? And then he's just like, I'll explain it after.
I'll explain it after I lose. God.
Yeah, all I knew is that the only thing I was scared of was Spore, and I know that terrorizing doesn't stop Spore. So I was like, I'll hold my terror for another month, you know? And that was it. So, but anyway, hey, GG's is a great game. I hope you win it all. Please use this fuel, and thank you, Wolf, for inviting me. I couldn't defend the crown, but I got one cool dub.
It was a very cool dub.
I feel like
probably like the coolest dub.
You went in style, man. That was impressive.
I feel like a 50-year-old cop, and it's like I have a really cool story, but I'm out of retirement for one last job. And it's not to win the whole thing, but son of a bitch, I did it again. All right. See you later, gamers.
Thank you very much, both of you, for joining us. That is going to be it for our first group.
That was the winner of the last game.
Yeah.
Who just learned how to terrorize.
Oh my god.
Couldn't have asked for a better game, but I think we're going to throw to a quick break. And when we're back, it is time for Group B. Jacob, it's your time to shine, man.
Hopefully. Maybe. Possibly.
These sure are the tits. These sure are the tits.
Okay, wait, come on.
Whoa! You look great.
Yeah?
Yeah, you look great.
Here's like... Yeah? Yesterday I wanted to have sex with you and you're like,
When was that?
well, the other day I was like,
Put your money where your mouth is.
what pussy were you? Would you,
What do you want to do? Do you want to play something or not? Can I play some Valorant? I like Valorant.
I know, I'm not gonna go play
Your head so low. No.
but I mean, that might be for like a while. Like, that might be for like a while.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's possible that you're out. You'll still have some